all and welcome. I'm your not so humble game master TJ, and this is Dice of Ages, presenting CrestVahllen, the Argent Flame. And I'm TJ, and these are all of my terrible Tomb Raiders. Say hi, terrible Tomb Raiders.
Hi, terrible Tomb Raiders.
I believe the term is victims.
Oh, so last time you guys remember, you just went through the recap, so you guys remember what happened last time. So this to set the scene of what is happening right now. Someone remind me, is the well wall still active or has it shut down?
We didn't come back through the well wall. We came through the portal.
The rift.
The rift and it like so. There was a rift that Thraz opened like...
I believe you did not state to us whether or not it had closed behind us, DM.
Okay,
so.
cool. So the rift that
GM.
Thraz opened up was like, if you've ever seen Jumper, it was like a jump scar. It was like a kind of like a wrinkle in time, a wrinkle in space and time that they kind of reached into and then retched open. And that allowed you to... it's like crossing the divider on a highway. You went into and hijacked a well wall continuum, a wormhole, and then when you exited, you did exit through the well wall that was at the behind those golden double doors. I do not believe I said whether it was not active or not. And nobody said that they shut it off, correct?
Well, considering the person who would have to shut it off, I think has a scythe to his throat.
It was like eminently closing though.
Yeah.
That was the reason why.
Yeah,
you
that's
were
why
hurrying
we're
us
going
along
through.
because it was closed.
Oh, the rift was closed.
Yeah, oh yeah,
The
that is
rift
right.
was closing, not the well wall in
Yeah.
which
But
you
yeah, we
exited
didn't
from
talk
behind
about
the
the
golden
other
doors.
Yeah.
Correct. So, so to set the scene, Thraz is probably the closest person to the well wall, with their back turned. We're just gonna put on a little bit better music here.
One of me is blood drunk inside my construct. The other one is cut in half and dead. So I don't know.
You're not inside your contract. I said you couldn't fit inside your contract.
No, I popped him.
You
Meckel helped.
Michael popped me.
Oh,
Yeah.
you popped him.
Which was not.
I remember that. You like
He was
leaked
leaking.
him like a water balloon?
Yes.
Yeah.
I used my axe. Yeah.
It's holy axe of Argus.
So did you pop into your construct after or before you went through the
mundane
rift?
acts of popping now.
I believe after.
Okay. Cool.
I don't remember. At some point I climbed in there. That's all I remember.
All right. So Thraz, I believe, was the one that was closest to the well wall that's still active, standing there, and then Shade just appeared with her scythe wrapped around his neck with the curve and the blade, and said, "I'll take what is mine." Or I don't actually remember exactly what she said. My mouse is missing.
I want what is mine.
Give me
Yes.
the other half or something
Yeah.
like that.
You said it during the recap. The fact that none of us can remember exactly what it was
Yeah.
is the fact that we were
We've
kind of
got
talking.
goldfish.
The
affiliations against
moment
We really do.
the rest of you are kind of just like scattered along the sand. There is no light in here. There is still no. There's still.
I have a. Oh no, I don't have my torch.
Yeah, like this is still a dark. There's no torches. There's no sconces lit. The door, if I remember, the golden door was pushed ajar, so you guys could get through after you dispelled some of the magic, or Shade had helped with that.
I want to say this
I
just
just
once
spelled
because I haven't
once
been able to say
and
this. I have dark vision now.
Yeah, you can see.
I can see.
I will say there.
One human, we pick up another.
I can't see.
I
Still
can't
got
see.
somebody.
Nobody like lit any torches or anything that was lit in the chamber before, where the dais
had a
was.
torch.
leading
I
up
had
to.
a torch.
did.
Remember,
He was the one that lit
In
the
the
whole
whole
thing.
thing.
the other room, not in the room
Oh.
where
No.
the golden doors were on the
No.
dais when you got attacked by those undead like
Yeah.
guards.
No. I think
Nobody lit
I've
anything in there.
just had my mage
I was
hand
just wondering if
carrying
there
a
was
torch.
any
but-
light
That-
from that chamber creeping in
No
through the
permanent.
ajar door, but there's not.
Just
so
No.
Michael was
so
carrying the
everything is
torch.
dark. We're-
Except, is there any sort of off light from
there
the?
is yes,
from
there
the well
is
wall.
some
Yeah.
ambient light from the well wall
Okay.
being in, from the event horizon of the well wall. The
Because my
it's
hammer's glowing.
and I've explained this before, but the well wall is not. I don't care. Sue me. Well wall is not a Stargate. It does not have that aqueduct type of blue and white, like waves crashing on each other. It is more like oil slick on the top of the ocean that has that rainbow kind of incandescent thing. So it doesn't reflect as much light, but it does roil in on each other and kind of move out like that ferrous liquid that reacts to sound and other. So it looks far more dangerous.
But
and
the mini you
alive
showed us looked like a
than just
Stargate.
a wig. The ring rings are more oval than they are circle, and the material is more oil that has that type of like rainbow effect sheen to it that roils in on itself and feels like almost like fingers of it coming out and like acting like magnetic material.
There's actually a type of rock that, like, when you shine light across it, it actually creates that rainbow iridescent effect.
Yes,
And
I
it's
think
that
obsidian
kind of,
does that a little bit, but yeah. So anyway, it does give off the very, very dimmest of light. It's one of those things where you can see a not very powerful glow stick all the way across the room, but you can't really see anywhere like 3 inches past it because it doesn't really give off any ambient light. It's just like this tiny locale of light. So I would say like within 5 feet of the well wall in perhaps all directions, it would give off the light. So you can see it glancing off the back of Shade, off of the side of the face and the back of the head of like Thraz, and you could possibly see it. So it's you can see your hand in front of your face, but seeing a lump in the sand would be difficult, and you could possibly trip, that type of thing. Does that make sense? You do have dim vision, so it's easier for you to see what's going on. For those that
It's just Meckle.
it's just Meckle. Meckle, like, you can see the well wall that's still active and starting to, like, power down or, like, something. It feels... It seems to blink a little bit. Because you're noticing this. Everyone else seems to be focused on Shade. You're noticing this. The runes seem to be, like, sputtering and fading. You've seen this happen at, I think, only twice before, because you went through the one in the lab and you went through the one here. There seems to be something, you know how catalyst dust gets these things to activate. This, you know what, roll a intelligence check for me.
the cracks in Thraz's skin are probably glowing a little bit in
Yeah,
this
they're
darkness too.
pulsing in the same rhythm that the well wall is sputtering with the runes. You see, so it's like they're part of the same circuit. You see Thraz's cracks in his skin, and the runes go at the same time.
I get a 17.
17. Your best guess, your gut reaction to this is that this well wall looks to be either brought here or this thing was constructed around this well wall because it's not made of the same material and was put here, and some sort of other mechanism or ancient architecture was built for this to be put here for a certain purpose. And there seems to be perhaps some other, which is not dissimilar from other types of tombs, hidden mechanisms within the depth and the volume of daises, just like how pyramids have trapdoors and those ventilation things and those stones hit from all those ropes, all these weird dead man's locks and everything. There's probably something in the dais that's perhaps feeding this automatically, perhaps catalyst dust to like shut it off. It is like a dead man's ship. Like it's supposed to stay open for a certain amount of time. Some sort of ancient kind of Stonehenge, very, very old technology, but still works. Whether that means it's an hourglass that's filling with sand, and once it's filled with sand, it gets heavy enough where then it moves, and then that allows like the pouch to be open so the catalyst dust releases. It's that type of thing.
Okay.
Meaning that you were probably on a timer this whole time.
Okay. Meckle doesn't really care, so he's just going to go ahead and start lighting another torch with his tinder.
Sure.
You'll notate it.
You
but-
got it. You can do that, absolutely. I think the things, I know you don't care, but the things that occurred to you were, this was like a one-way thing. This also seems to be constructed in a way, because you've been in labs before. You know how like basic science, ish works. And this appears to be a well that was like one way. It hijacked something and went to a place, and there was no way in, no way out. As somebody who was lighting a bunch of torches, you became very well aware when you were in that other chamber that the air was getting thin and coffee. This was an airtight chamber with very little air in it, and there was no way in, no way out, except for what this well wall went you in, and so there's no way to get back out. So there's probably all of the torches have suffocated all the air from that area. And what you did to get out without Thraz would not have been possible. So I think as far as Meckel cares, it's probably saying like, I could have killed us because I lit all the torches, but I also saved us. But also without him, we all would have been dead. But I need to see. And you just let and that's pretty much what's happening.
That's a very Meckel thought process.
Yeah.
So the well wall is sputtering. And as it is sputtering, and there's this kind of Mexican standoff. Oh, I'm sorry. What is it? Good, Bad, and the Ugly. What's it called?
You just use the.
Is that the right term?
Yes,
Are
it
we
is.
allowed to say that still?
Just say standoff.
Stand up, like
Just
I'm not
say
sure.
stand-
I'm not sure what the other term for it is.
Yeah, just say
rolled
standoff.
off the tongue
I'm
because of
only
all my
aware of
old
the one term.
spaghetti
I mean,
westerns.
it's a no retreat situation,
Yeah.
basically.
Just go
It's
with
it's
it
in a
and
pickle.
then edit it
Yeah.
out later.
the triple. Just cover your mouth when you say it. Okay? That way they can't read your lips.
Kevin,
You can just correct it.
don't enable me. So the you see it sputtering, but you also see it. There's like an abscess. There appears to be in the oil-like material. There appears to be some sort of abscess, a void that seems to be like creating kind of like a bubble, like a spit bubble inside of it. It's asymmetrical. What's up?
So it actually comes more from like it's been used for a while, but you could also use armed stalemate, TJ.
Okay,
Sorry, I had to.
had to look it up.
I had to.
Okay, so
I like good
if there's anything that you guys want to do in this exact moment, you can. But we're in like bullet time at this moment. We're kind of in this standoff.
At the end of last session, I had to roll a wisdom save
Yes, because you used your log's balls
because my balls dropped.
and you tempted the and you tempted Eldritch. You had Eldritch temptation, and what was it? 19.
19.
A 19, correct. There is a. How focused are you on your physical person in this moment? Or are you more focused on like Shade and the Blade and Thraz and the well wall and the action?
I mean, I was just pulled through a portal, so there's part of me that was focused on myself, but at the same time, I don't care about this fucker. He just showed up, so
Okay.
I'm okay with Shade killing him. So I don't know who he is.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right, all
you
my
doing
parts are good.
Testicles, testicles, Walden watch. You do feel like shadow is a tough word, but you do see that there appear to be some sort of shadow because there's not really any light. Well, you just lit your torch. The shadow that's now being cast from you from his torch behind you appears to move like a penumbra to a different area that should not have a shadow, and then shrink into below you where you don't have a shadow anymore, Peter Pan style, and appear to, in strands of shadow, crawl up your leg and find a loop in your belt and begin to coalesce and create something long and then condense and then fade. And there is like in one of your many strands of pouches and loops that you have on your belts. I don't get the joke there. What appears to be a fan, like a hand fan. You just kind of like felt as soon as it's done coalescing, you just felt like the minimal, like the weight of it just on your belt again. It doesn't have a lot of weight, but you feel it there now. It wasn't there before.
Weirder shit's happened, so I'll let it.
It's just there. You just have a fan now.
Yeah. If
Par
there's,
for the course.
Right, just it's another thing.
Anybody else before I move on?
If I've got the torch lit, then the first thing I'm going to do after that is mage
I'll
hand.
say like that's your thing.
Oh.
Like, this is like just like what's happening, like bullet time. This is what's
All
happening. If everybody else is just like waiting to see what happens,
can we talk about this first, Shade? I mean, I know we have to get this back to who we're delivering
we
it
did
to.
talk about it. I get what I want, and nobody gets hurt. That's how this works. That's how it's always worked.
Please.
Yeah.
What about Vlad?
In this moment, what I want is what he wants.
And we want it too.
He helps me if I get him what he needs. But he only needs... He said he needed a vision. And I've seen what this thing can do, so I want one for myself. But that's none of your business. There's a sputtering, and you feel like the pressure of the steel. You also see, now there's a torch lit, and you have dark vision, that some of the teeth on the scythe, like the eye of where the scythe is, very Soul Eater style, starts to do like the downward brow to make kind of like an angry eye, like a furrowed thing, and the teeth that are look like they're painted on the blade of the scythe begin to move in opposition to each other, like chainsaw blades moving back and around a belt.
Which makes Thraz is now standing on his toes as he watches this happen, and he's like trying to look at this thing as it's pressed against his throat as he's
Yeah.
watching these changes
You
happen.
do that whole like trying to see your own chin.
Yeah.
And as that's happening, the abscess, the bubble that's forming in the well wall quickly grows bigger, very quickly, and it's to the point where it's one of those motions at the corner of your eye where you see something move fast, so a lot of your attention just automatically kind of darts to it as it elongates and pops, and what looks like some sort of form, body, you're not sure, just kind of spits out from their source of the air and rolls in the dust before ending up sitting up. And it looks like it's a humanoid, short humanoid. You see some of the well wall stuff still attached to it, but it quickly evaporates and is gone and drips off. As you see this high... Actually, why don't you go describe what they see sitting there.
Ah, yes. A halfling of... Oh, wait. Am I still really old? I think I'm not, right? Someone fix that? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Of
yes,
about
fix that.
about 45 years old. Silver...
Young for half.
Yeah. Silver top knot. Otherwise, the rest of his head is bald. Monk's robes, pack on the shoulder, pouches around the belt, a long sword sticking comically high up above the, like, way up here, so you can just...
Full cloud strife style.
Yeah. Just kind of taking stock of the surroundings. All of this is unfamiliar.
That kind of causes the well to kind of shut down and collapse within itself as the event horizon shuts down. The place is still lit by your torch. You land in the center. If there's an arc of people, that is the Argent flame on one side, and then Shade facing you with Thraz in her with the blade against his throat. On the other side, you land right in the center as you sit up, like that whole like wobbly drunk sit up kind of deal.
Dude, give her the eye. Don't you care about your life?
You completely ignored this thing that just plopped right there.
That's completely.
Yeah.
I've seen wiener crab going
Yeah.
on. Not important.
Cool. The portal gave birth. Next.
I wasn't.
I'll walk over to Shade nonchalantly, stepping
You
over.
walk
over
across
to
to Shade?
Yeah, with the torch or whatever.
So you're like,
No, I'm not. I'm just. I can do the
Necklace.
yeah, I can do the torch one-handed. That's the only thing I've got.
Yeah, she's looking at you because she's like, it's like the person go like, put your hands up. Go like, no. Go like, but I've got a gun. So
I will,
I don't want
I
to.
will reach over to her slowly and try to put my hand on the handle of her scythe to kind of like, and I'll be looking at her the entire time.
Okay.
With like, the biggest puppy dog eyes I can,
Roll a persuasion check.
and
Think about how many kebabs they shared together.
You think about it.
yeah, I got a 17.
17.
And just sort of like put pressure on one of her hands to kind of like lower the blade. I won't say anything to her.
You're doing like the light motion. There's no way your strength could ever like actually force.
No,
her.
no, no. I'm just.
You're doing the
I know that. I'm
Yeah,
not.
yeah, sure,
I'm
sure.
not trying to antagonize her. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to.
Calm the situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got it. Okay, cool. 17. I mean, her eyes are locked on you, and she's like conflicted. You see in her eyes the type of feeling where in her life there have been very few people that actually care about her. So this is confusing, if that makes sense. And there's this inner struggle of ambition, personal ambition, and morals. What the fuck are those? So you have her full attention, or like almost full attention. She still has the blade against his thing, but it's not now pressed against. It's looser.
I will just simply say to her, there are other ways. And try to like bring her hand and sigh away from the dude's neck.
Cool. So she's like fully involved with that while that's happening. Anybody else?
Have you like met before? Or, like, is this
Who are you talking to?
Shade?
Shade.
Have you met before? Like, what? Seems like there's a history here or something.
She's like fully focused on you right now. So she might be like, she just kind of does that offhanded like, no, where like you're hyper fixated on something and you hear somebody ask you something, but it sounds like, and you're like, what? And you have to ask them like 6 times, and you're like, do we have any honey? You're like, oh yeah, we have honey. So she just kind of gives you
You're
an
Charlie
offhanded.
Brown's parents right now.
Yeah.
You asked that, and Thraz just is like trying to shake his head without cutting his neck.
Yeah, it's that auditory, like semi-permeable membrane type of thing, and so she just kind of offhandedly like, no, just like barely puts her chin in your direction before focusing back on you.
I'm like, we can talk about this. No need for violence. And I'll try to, more physical to kind of actually lower her hand.
Okay. I mean, like, well, I'm gonna let your 17 ride, so you're in the process of doing that. This is not a fast thing
Right.
by any means.
Right.
So if anybody is doing anything else while this is happening, 'cause
I will-
this is slow.
I will just say, hey, welcome to our dysfunction. To this new halfling. Just don't do anything rash. Clearly,
Yeah.
it's yeah.
I've backed up and am no longer in the middle of this standoff
Smart,
here.
smart choice.
I feel like I could sense that energy. Don't want anything to do with that. So back up.
Sure.
So I'm out of
And
this.
for lack of better terms, for their descriptions, you see a dwarf who's really gone hard into the whole fire red aesthetic. You see a Maitan who's likes this flow purpley stuff that appears to be have kind of a mage aesthetic to them, but swords at their waist.
I might still be disguised as the Ascendant
Yeah.
from when we
Yeah,
showed
just
up.
another like random ascendant dude that was part of Bellius's group.
There
that
would
was
be
supposed to meet up
two
with him.
halves of undead bass.
Is that concentration?
laying around?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's because
He's
it's
not
just the
undead.
mask.
that
on
was
your
like
face.
the
Yeah,
last
so
thing I
it's-
saw. From
No,
what
he's
they
fully
Does
said.
it say you
now.
cast it at will?
Yeah,
Or
I
you
know.
just-
It doesn't
so if you
cost me
cast
anything.
it at will, then but is disguise self concentration?
No.
So then yeah, no, you're good. Yeah.
Does he? Yeah. Does he see Bast?
The two halves of Bast.
Who's holding it again?
I didn't think anybody did. I
Well,
just-
I
Well,
thought
we
I
brought
had
him
the- I
over.
No,
cast
we
the
did say that we
spell,
took him
and
out.
then-
Yeah.
Yeah, who grabbed them?
I think we were just trying to get out of there as quickly as possible.
Yeah, we were
didn't
up
designate.
against the time.
I know,
we were-
but I'm specifically remember people grabbing pieces.
We said that we grabbed him. We never specified who.
I
Did
think
we?
Yeah. We did specify
Your-
that we should,
In the
but-
party
Your
inventory.
construct.
Right.
Bast torso, bast legs.
Right.
It's not the first body in our
What was
inventory.
what's their construct called again? Were grabbed one bit, I believe. I don't remember who.
Maybe
grabbed
the other bit's just sitting on the ground at the moment.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Honestly.
Just behind the group, you see, you know what a bugbear looks like. A bugbear.
So
the
we
really-
just right now
bast
disguised as
parts are on
well,
the
yeah,
floor.
right. I'm sorry, you don't see a bugbear. So you see just a.
whatever Sen and I disguise myself as. 'cause
It would
we
be
never really
a
said
Maitan, another Maitan in what looks like these toned down robes of turquoise and crimson, with like a cloak over it, and it's hard to see. And you see a little heavy set because they weren't completely drained. A little heavy set, a little corpulent.
I'm inside where.
Oh,
so
right.
You just see the
So you just see a construct that's like big but weird. It's like an orb with a bunch of like lattice limbs attached to it, and like whoa. Doesn't look like anything like the sentinels that you remember from the temple. And you see a Ibkest with a bunch of cracks over like half of its face that appear to were glowing for a moment and now fading. That has the thing. And then you see this tall, about 8 foot, 9 foot tall, feminine figure, blindfold, crown of like jagged gold intertwined with obsidian, plate armor that has these spikes and trimmed and of like this dark deep blue trimmed in silver and gold, that has this big old massive scythe that they choked up on the handle and have it up against this Ibkest individual, and that's the scene you see.
Also a wolf.
Oh, and
Oh.
Meckel.
Yeah, you
There's a
back
wolf.
up and like there's just this wolf like sitting there that you back up into. It just goes like,
I just
And
nod
Meckel.
at the wolf.
And Meckel.
Yeah.
You didn't describe Meckel.
right, the source of the light. You see, probably a little harder to see because they are the source of the light in this darkness. Just this other dude, just a dude, just a human dude being like, what? It's over, like has their hand on this other
9-foot
tall
lady.
person that's trying to be like, it's okay, it's okay. Looks like a therapist, maybe. You don't know.
I mean, Thraz, like, with noticing the distraction, is like reaching up to his pouches to like open one of them. To let,
You want to move?
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, she asked me to give her something.
Sure, I'll
so-
say I'll say because if you're trying to be careful to make sure that her attention is still.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's that
Which
very.
one's your
slow.
head and roll a sleight of hand then?
Okay. Let's see if the new dice works well for this.
I'm the source of light.
You are a true follower.
It did not. 7.
I was about to say Argus is probably like, oh no.
7.
7. It's pretty obvious. You like start to pull your hand and like one of your longer fingernails gets stuck on your like a frayed thread in your pocket. You're like,
Well, and I'll be honest. It was more of I'm trying to do this like slowly so she doesn't freak out, but also
Yeah.
like stealthily. too,
yeah,
since
it's
she's
more of
distracted.
just you're trying to make it look like you're pulling whatever it is that you're pulling out, and also just try to keep like not make so much movement so that she remains more focused on him. I understand. Trying to keep the status quo, and you do kind of make a tug, and eventually it just kind of like your weight shifts in a way where she becomes more aware of your existence, and then you see her rather than you. Her eyes have been mostly locked on you, even though she gestures and talks to someone else. Her eyes do glance at him and appear to now be going back and forth as her attention is split. You do see her grip tighten. It is lower now, but her grip does tighten, and she is now it's 50-50 on you and Thraz. But she's just keeping an an eye on what it is that you're pulling out of your pocket. What do you pull out? You reach into your bag or pocket?
I actually have a double
Like a
bandolier.
bandolier?
Of,
You
yeah.
got it. Cool.
Of pouches there. I was actually reaching in for the hummingbird off my list.
Okay, cool. Like she is watching what you're pulling out. I would say that you were aware that she's now watching. Is that are you still going for the hummingbird, or are you switching to a different pouch? It's up to you.
I know.
Just letting you know.
I know.
Now you notice that her attention has been shifted.
Yeah, he stops when he notices that she's paying attention. He stops with just his hand right there.
Sure.
Do you mind if I just let something out real quick? It won't be too bad, I promise. It just needs a little air.
Just glancing back and forth. You can give me what I asked for, and then we can be done with this. I don't want to. She looks at you. I don't want to.
So I'll turn to the new dude. Do you need the eye?
Well, it would be better if I had both.
Not your eyes, the eye from the thing.
Well, now that you say that, I realize that she might take my eyes, but no, I meant those. I would prefer to have both.
We can't let you have both. One of them has to go back to somebody else. So,
Do you have both?
No.
New person?
No, she has one. I have one. I have the other.
Right, she wants both.
well, she wants one for Vlad.
And yeah,
Who went first?
she wants both right now. She can keep one.
Yeah.
Shade, wouldn't it be better if you return that one and then take this one later so Vlad doesn't know that you have a second?
I could always let you use it, and then you could give it back to me after you're done.
Roll a persuasion check at advantage. But one of you between the two of you guys decide. Either that. Actually, you guys aren't like allies in this moment. I'll say, why don't you both roll persuasion and let's
Okay.
see what happens.
At advantage or just straight?
Just straight, yeah.
Dirty 20.
Ooh.
Hey,
I'm trained
what?
in persuasion. I actually rolled.
Actually, I am too. 15.
15. Not bad, guys. A dirty 20 to 15. You can't see her eyes, obviously, because the blindfold, and she's blind. But you see that furrowed brow above the patinaed cloth across the bridge of her nose that stretches back and just seemingly just fades into her hair. You don't know where her hair and the actual cloth begins. And the furrowed brow wrinkles it down further, and you see the head go back and forth for a moment as thought seems to be running through what is undoubtedly a very calculating mind. The grip loosens on you for a moment. The blade slowly gets removed from your throat with ne'er a sound. And the only sound is the small sound of small grains of quartz against the bottom of the staff of this scythe. But a hand, a plate metal, sharp plate metal, those nice little curly, sharp bits that curl up and make little points. Metal hand still rests heavily on your shoulder. A firm grip. Not squeezing, but knowing that it's that whole thing where my hand's on my kid. If they decide to run, I know I can grab and squeeze real fast, that whole type of thing. You know what I mean. It's more of like, have you, but I'm trying not to be super aggressive.
It's like the
I'll
Bane,
look
like,
through my.
do you feel
I-
in charge?
Do you feel the dark?
While you're deciding, do you want some meat?
Pull out some meat.
I pull out a kebab.
They say like, Meckle really knows not the time.
Two things we didn't really close out. Did Anki pass the message along to me?
Right. Someone said that
Bast
said
Anki, tell Greaves to save me.
Mhm.
Or something along those lines.
I think that does that occur to Zemdak in this moment?
No, did Anki give
right.
that
I'm
message?
just saying. But if
Well, that was the second thing. He let out some of the blood, but then he healed me. Did that tyrant blood have any effect on me? Or the fact of him draining me, did I come back to sort of lucidness?
I would have kept pushing until he was a reasonable size.
Sure, yeah. As much time as you had. So just,
Yeah,
Like,
just-
the time, like, he has a
As
bit of a
you're
muffin
carrying him
top,
up,
but
just-
that's about it.
Yeah.
I will.
It's trying to stuff all
Am
the
I-
stuffed animals
Yeah.
that you
Am I
kids
still,
have
like-
into that bag.
Am I still blood drunk, or am I back to being lucid for the most part?
You are mostly lucid. You're tipsy at the best, is what I will say. Meaning,
Okay.
like, you can choose to be sober, but the second you like stop focusing, you're like, that was wild, man, right? I think that because of how I've discussed about how vampire stuff works, as you kind of discovered along the way, we'll find out what this blood does to you when there's a time.
It
where
was
you're
just more
not
of like,
focused
was
on
he conscious enough to get the message? And did Anki...
Did Zemdak hear Anki tell Greaves not to kill me or whatever it is that he said?
Yeah.
So my question to you is Zemdak reaching out to Anki at all?
Was he talking
Is
to
that
you?
okay? You reach out to Anki at all. You hear as you are in this moment, see all these things happening. You're like, okay, it doesn't require as much attention now as you're inside your own construct. As you kind of like look down and you reach out to Anki and you say, "Was he talking to you?" And what you hear back is a just cacophony of loud, massive. Imagine if the Tasmanian devil was a crowd of 1 million people spinning around and constantly saying different things. It's like the stock market decreased to an exponential. It's just like, and it's just so piercing and so it's like almost like a blunt instrument has hit inside of your brain. Do you keep the connection open or do you shut it down?
Is it hurting me? Or is it just annoying?
As much as a migraine would.
I'll see if I get an answer.
Okay. Why don't you do ahead and if you can see the forest through the trees, if you can hear the voices through the crowd, why don't you go ahead and roll a insight check? Because this is a mind thing rather than like a perception trying to actually hear specific voices in a crowd.
Nope. 6.
6. So you're going to take 6 points of psychic damage. Do you want to try again?
Nope.
And cut it down? I'll say there is a discussion happening in the collective. As far as you can tell, that's about it. With a 6,
Okay.
there's, rather than just the people that are the platforms that Anki are in, like if each spore had an individual mind, they're not as one right now. There's discussion. Like there's different opinions. That's what you get. Shade doesn't seem to be in a threatening manner anymore to you, but she still has her hand heavily on your shoulder, towering over you.
Good. Now you guys can talk it out. As I'm chewing on the kebab, I'll walk away.
So was there a short fucker in that room we didn't see before? I'm confused.
No, he popped out. Did you not see that come out of the portal?
Well, yeah, we came out of the portal. Where the fuck did he come from?
The portal.
Yeah.
Yeah, we came from the way. So, like,
They're having the discussion,
same
and
thing.
there's this wolf. It's just like cleaning the back of your ears.
yeah, so was he not in the room?
He came out of a different color of the portal. So I think he came out from another piece of the portal that wasn't where we were.
I mean, hey, where did you come from?
Oh, that's a good way to do that.
Yeah. Sorry. You're here. I mean, I think it's a little rude to.
First of all, tell me what's going on.
Ooh, you want the short version or the long version?
That's a good question.
Short
I'll
first.
I'll walk past them, come up to you, and be like, "I'm Meckel."
Meckel, nice to meet you. Oscar
Switch your hands
Goodmeadow.
with the torches.
Yeah. You realize my hand's a little greasy from kebab.
I'm Ruckle.
Yeah.
Thraz just starts answering, and he goes, "See, I was following this item, and then all of a sudden, all these fuckers were in the room with us. It's very, very weird. I don't know what this is.
Yeah, who's this fucker?
What are you fucking?
We
No,
don't
I
know
asked
the-
first.
Wait.
You're still doing
We're
Log's
in the
voice,
middle
though,
of a big
right?
thing where we
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah,
a
because
lot
you
of
don't
people.
disguise
Yeah.
your voice. It's just
Yeah.
So you aren't the only new face in the room today.
Did you give him?
These folks are part of
name?
the Argent Flame.
Did I give him
No,
a-
no.
helpful.
Did
My
you
name?
respond?
Drasheni.
Yeah, he gave you.
Okay.
Yes.
Which was what? Because I missed that. You were talking.
Osford Meadow.
Trisheni.
Drasheni, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm Argus.
Argus.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to
You seem to
meet
be...
you.
Why... You're making weird faces. What's up with that?
It could just be his face.
I'd like...
The
Oh, yeah.
the canopy of the construct pops up like a hatch door. Hi, I'm
Greaves.
Zemdak.
Greaves, what are you doing here?
No, he's Boots.
Yeah. Unless you have another name that we don't know about. I mean, it's...
It wouldn't be out of character, but I don't think I've had that nickname
wrong
before.
with you guys and your names?
I mean, he's got like fucking 20 names. Like,
What's wrong with your name? What are you talking about?
Do you know me?
Yes.
Do we want to do this here?
Anki seemed to know this guy. Do you know him?
Yes, blue fish fucker.
The
Yeah, the bluefish fucker.
pieces of
Bast.
dead elf.
Is he dead?
Roll. What's your passive perception, Oscar?
Not good. It's 13.
Are you looking around?
I mean, yeah, I would
Roll a
like.
perception check.
Okay.
I mean, he's.
No.
He's
sight, never mind.
bisected.
Yeah. yeah. So
Fuck. That's a 4. Plus. you
Thraz
said
from across the
perception?
room goes,
7.
in my
you do that
medical
thing that my
opinion,
sister
he
used to
is."
do when we're on road trips, and I say, "Oh, look, a lake," and she goes, "Where?"
He was cut in half.
But not by us. He came that way.
Okay.
Wait, so you know the blue
know
fish
him?
fucker?
Raz is dying over in the corner.
He was in a sarcophagus for God knows how long.
Yeah, probably millennia.
Okay.
Thraz leans over
Okay.
and goes, generally, bisection is fatal.
That's a general.
Typically.
I might be able to.
Even
fix
when
that.
you're leaning over like this palm is.
I don't
still
have the
heavy on
diamonds.
your shoulder.
Oh, yeah,
I do.
no. Like, he
Can we help him?
feels that and he goes,
I mean, I don't know if I can take
We're-
someone's completely severed in two. I got to make sure all their organs are there. Everything internally is there, so we can stitch it back together.
Okay.
What are you gonna do with diamonds?
I had Greaves gave us an absolute fuck ton of diamonds, but I don't have them anymore.
You holding out on
But,
us? What the
yeah.
fuck?
what-
I've got
I mean, we only got
I
so
don't
much.
think I have any more diamonds. I start digging through my bag.
no. It's
they're talking about diamonds, and Thraz is completely disinterested in that conversation.
How do you know him? And why do you call him Greaves?
Do you guys know Oculine?
yes.
Is he in your head?
No. First, please, help Bast. Help my friend here.
I've used gentle repose. He's not going to turn undead anymore.
Point of order. As is most common with types of mummification, sarcophagus seem to have been sealed airtight, so decomposition was made a minimum. Like it was more of a desiccated body and more of dehydrated than it was like decomp. Like the muscles that you had seen, it was more of a mummy. It was not wrapped, however. The chest was still bare. The organs were still there, however, dried and shriveled. But there wasn't any, like, you don't know how long that was there because you know how ancient. You have an idea as to how ancient this down here is, but it's not dust. It is still a body, and there are like maybe subtle hints as to what the color of the skin was before. All the pieces are here.
What's the floor? Is it
Sand
sand?
right now. You do feel like if you like dig your feet in a little bit more, there's probably limestone or some other type of like sandstone underneath the sand. It's just through ventilation shafts and other
Okay.
types of things. There is a subtle layer of sand. Before.
Okay, I go over to Bast and I uncork my water and I just start sprinkling water over him because he's super dry.
You got it. Is it fresh water or salt water?
It's fresh water. Why would I have salt water?
Wait, so are you like aligned with the same thing that he like pledged himself to?
Oh,
Yeah, because he was
sorry.
attacking us a
When
little
we
bit.
say he,
The
Adam's playing,
fish
Adam's playing two
fucker.
characters.
The fish fucker.
Bisected guy.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
the fish fucker. Are you like pledged to the thing that he was pledged to?
No, but we're traveling companions. I've been
But you know
searching-
what he was pledged to.
He was real cagey about it.
That makes
You
sense.
do see the body like become more juicy as it just.
Juicy.
No, I've seen this fucker before. He was, you know,
You
not
deglaze
too-
the corpse.
He wasn't two things. He was one. He was a single thing
Yes, that's
at the time.
that's how he normally is.
And he was like,
This is a grave departure from the norm.
he was like upset because he
departure.
failed something, and so he was like sad. I don't know. It was.
Did he say anything?
He
He said that he was sorry for fucking up.
and
I think.
he didn't seem like he wanted to hurt us. He was attacking us like a lot, but it didn't seem like it was under his control.
Okay.
But that wasn't just bisected, you know.
Yeah.
And he
That
was
wasn't
in
the real one. Like
sarcophagus.
I saw him in my dream.
Okay.
Like
okay.
so he was. Yeah.
Well, this social commentary over here is going on. Michael doesn't care about.
Sure.
He will, because we're still in the catacombs, right? So he's
Yeah,
going.
you're still in the room where the well wall is,
Right.
behind the gold doors.
He's going to once again try to sense around him and see if that thing that had been moving towards the portal, if he senses anything in the area.
I think the head been moving towards.
That's how we found. Remember, I was the.
Ah,
yeah.
yes.
Following
Dowsing
something.
rod.
Right. Roll the. What I have you roll when it comes to that stuff? I believe it's either wisdom or insight.
I
believe.
think it's been doing wisdom. I think is what
Yeah.
you've been doing, but
Yeah,
what do you
wisdom.
want?
Wisdom.
Got a
I give you-
14.
I give you advantage on these because you have an innate connection.
Oh.
I believe I remember. Yeah.
15.
15. You do feel, I don't want to say a ping, but you do feel the birth of an existence. BER.
Oh,
TH.
okay.
The birth, like the wake.
Emergence.
The wake of an existence. Not moving anymore in Thraz's locale.
Like the familiar sort of presence kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. If space was fifth dimensional rather than fourth dimensional, where the three dimensions being X, Y, Z, and the fourth dimension being time, if the fifth dimension was allow you to freely travel through space and time, and if space was a fabric that you could just impose on a second two-dimensional space and just have like a bookworm move through as like kind of like subspace type of thing, Thraz appears to be the thing that was kind of like.
So does this strike me as the same sort of presence or the same sort of taste, if you will, of like Shade and myself when we with the doctor and all that?
No,
Okay.
this appears to be more between the layers of existence. Something that is, if you see something tunneling right below the surface of soil, you can see like tremors. If you ever watch Tremors, like graboids, you can see the little burrowing, the lump that keeps traveling through and creating kind of a depression.
Okay.
That kind of birth of it, like the gravity of it, seems to what Thraz seems to have.
Okay.
The existence of you and Shade, I believe, is more of a kinship of something that is unnatural, experimented upon, changed, and or of perhaps the same type of origins, some type of perhaps DNA that you have in common. Like you don't know, but this is more of your awareness of, because of your mutations, you're a little bit more aware of, as you've seen before. If you remember when you were in what was it called, the burrow in the brass retreat, when you were there, you kind of saw a little bit into other planes / dimensions. Everything. So it's that itching, that raising of the hair on the back of the spine, that type of thing. That's more of the sense that you're getting.
But nothing from the other guy.
From Osfer? Osfer, do you have anything that you, before you got hurled for the first time from
The club.
this whole time, from the club, is there anything that you
That's fair.
is there anything that you had from that time, that setting, that you still have?
From that setting, I have a melon baller.
Oh.
I have a melon baller. That's,
I don't
think
know
the
what
only
this
thing I
means.
have.
Just what do you?
Lights.
They're off.
Oh, okay, yeah, I got it.
Just coming down
sorry.
on us, you know.
I'm sorry.
I just now noticed.
And
Might be unplugged.
the
Oh, there we go.
there we go. Yeah.
Ah.
Oh, my hair.
I probably wouldn't have kept any of the disguise robes, but I do have the melon baller.
Oh, you have the melon baller.
Yeah.
So does it exist in two places at a time in space?
Have you ever seen those kind of graphs or depictions of what a black hole looks like if it was put on a piece of fabric as far as gravity is? And you see a planet and it pulls down a piece of the fabric and it has a type of depression. A black hole is sucked all the way down there. There's this bit of feeling. It's not a visual thing, but it's just a kind of tug where you feel that there is more gravity to Thraz. Specifically, Thraz, you're not sure if it's Thraz themselves or a bunch of stuff, just like how a bunch of asteroids can sometimes create their own gravity and collide together to create a cosmic body that then creates more gravity and has more things, everything, which is technically how a lot of scientists think our moon formed. You do sense another piece of gravity of a wrinkle in the fabric that appears to be on a little boy's person.
Okay.
Little man.
Meckel would say little boy, I think.
Meckel hasn't
Michael's
looked.
perception.
Yeah. Guys, everybody shut up for a second. And I'll take a moment to focus. Something is very odd here.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, we've met you before.
No. Bacon slipping on a pan.
How is that odd? That's just delicious.
No. That's how these two feel.
You're talking about
They're standing on the floor, but they can also easily be slipping.
which two? You're talking about
The two that him and him.
Hello.
Yeah, no, I just want
Yeah, who the fuck
there's
are
a couple
you
of
again?
extra people
I'm
here.
sorry.
I just want to make Yeah. That makes sense.
if something is going to tilt the floor, they would slide right off of it. The rest of us would stay here, but they would go and slide.
Well, that sounds okay by me.
But it seems
They're here just transitionally, maybe. Yeah? That kind of thing? They're not supposed to be here and they can go whichever way they ought to be.
just not here. They could slip somewhere
Okay.
else.
That kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Shade's hand digs. You're not going anywhere.
You know, I've been having theories about this actually. I'm thinking about that a little bit more. But that you can be in like 2 places at one time, or like have things that are.
Trisheni, you know I would
What?
love
Sorry.
to debate your theories
Yeah.
later.
Okay, sorry, I got wrapped up.
What
Yeah.
what I think though is that I think it's not going to be a long time before slippage.
Ah,
So maybe we take care of stuff and talk about unimportant stuff later.
theories are important, but yes, I get your point. Okay.
Can you sew him back together? Do you have the thing with
Do I sense
I-
the
that,
thing?
I
He
don't
is-
know how
Okay.
I lost that with
do I sense
Miss
that I
Shani.
could probably revive him with Revivify, or he's too far gone for that low level spell?
This body has been dead for a very long time. A very long.
Even though it was just alive, and when we
It was
Almost
just
undead.
undead.
no, when the torches lit, he became alive again,
Yeah.
and that's when we.
The undead. Right. You want to roll? I'll give you. Do you want to roll either a religion or an insight check for me on that as you
Insight.
think about that?
Yeah, because you're not good at insight, right?
I mean, I could just interrogate the fucker, like
21.
if it comes to it.
21. There was something about how you got the sense that this chamber was unaffected, just like how the doors had kept staved off, was unaffected by the curse of the wandering. And the one way in and out of this chamber, which is odd, like, is this chamber actually within the maw? Like, I mean, it must be. There's all these types of geographical features. You know, stone. You know, sand.
But
You
we've
know,
also
like stuff like this.
seen other things like this outside.
Yeah,
the mall.
but you've also but you've also seen how some things can actually stave off the curse of the wandering, or at least heard tales of that, as it, like, just like Babas, and how the golden doors had this circumstance of this barrier. If that was broken, meaning that the one way into this chamber was through that well wall, and that one way, you're like, does the curse actually travel through interdimensional spaces? Like, does it travel through portals? Meaning, like, and then you got 21, so you're like, okay, is the curse actually a locale thing? Or is it something that needs a path to get to where it needs to go in order to, like, is it airborne? Is it something like this? Is it magic? Is something? Does it actually need a path to where it goes? Because it seemed like that chamber was unaffected by the curse of the wandering until
It
those,
was unsealed.
like, until the childproof cap was broken off, as it was. The airtight seal was broken. And so once it was, all of those that were
That
dead
has become
became undead, as the curse of the wandering then first imposed itself. And but there appeared to be some other construction. There were so many pictographs and hieroglyphs and other types of things there that circumstance could have charged. You don't know. You didn't really have enough time to explain it or study it. But there was a lot going on there, and it was just too much happening. And when all the torches were lit, or at least all but one were lit, something tried to happen. And either it was like moving between, like when you try to balance a light switch between on and on, and it goes trying to balance between undeath and death, and somehow maybe life creeped in a type of way. Or on the process, it became undeath to became more of a thing that was conventionally dead, but the body would need to be untouched by magic, what then allowed it to be alive for perhaps there's a lot of fuckery going on here. Something was trying to get the coin, or at least maybe perhaps the torches, the construction, the hieroglyphs, all the circumstance of magic was causing the coin to land on its side in a moment. So it was alive. And with the 21, you're like thinking, wait a second. This body as it was, mummified and entombed, was dead for who knows how long. Perhaps even millennia. But it was just alive from being undead. Does that count? With a 21, that's up to you. But you did just cast Gentle Repose.
Right.
So this is going to be more of. This is so far beyond anything you've ever attempted or understood before. There's one way to find out.
Well, if Trisheni can't sew them back together, does anybody know how to put them back into one piece?
I might be able to help you.
Yeah.
I can only burn him back together. That doesn't really.
Is that
leave
worst
some
case
scars,
scenario?
you
I
know.
just ask the fucker who he is, what he's doing. Who, like, why the fuck is he in my dreams?
Do you
and,
know how to
like,
do some things? Some
Yeah, I've studied a little bit of things, you know. It
Who the
helps
fuck
when
is
you
this
try
guy
to make
again?
Things better.
He's the slipper.
Jim, I sent you a message with a question.
Got you.
That doesn't help.
Discord.
He's bacon.
So we can eat him.
Please, no.
no, I mean,
Neighbor, I am not delicious.
he's like peppery bacon.
That's
though.
to
He
be
doesn't-
determined.
Trishani.
Yeah, Trishani is my name, by the way.
That's why I said
It's like-
Trishani.
And
So-
It's canon that he just gets your name.
I
wrong.
know, but
It won't be until like the campaign finale where we'll finally get it right and we'll all cry about it.
what's up?
So when I was lighting my torch, I think this thing can turn itself on. I'm pointing at
The well wall?
it.
That's not possible. How can it turn itself on?
I think there's something like it can be called to activate.
Remotely?
From afar, I think so.
That's
Which is why we should probably
concerning.
move.
yeah. We should move.
But
Okay.
what about the creatures back here that we ran from?
I mean, they're
killed a
sealed in
couple.
that room now, aren't they?
Yeah, that's my
The
understanding.
flying creatures?
Only if the door doesn't open again. And I mean, I can force the door.
the
but-
big flying creature that we ran through in the dark.
Oh, yeah. To get back up to Vlad, we'd have to go back through.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many of those down here.
We just be quiet, right?
Do you want to? Are you suggesting maybe destroying this so that we have nobody following us?
No, I think that these two could what I get is that I know these two are different, so I could then think about those two, and even if they were in a different room, I could probably sense them.
Okay.
But I think that can go through this.
So we should kill him now.
We.
Please no.
I look at Argus. That's
just
up
has
to him.
This big sigh.
Yeah.
Almost like, Log, we do not need to kill anyone right now, or we could have just let Shade do it.
But for
I mean,
instance,
we can still let Shade do it. I'm
If-
totally cool with that, too.
sometimes if I was in the other room and Doctor could call to me knowing where I was, if something is searching for these two, then if it finds these two, it could activate this being close to them.
So we kill them now.
Well, or
Or we just go out of the room and close those big golden doors.
Yeah, I
With
think
them
that's what we-
inside.
Let's no, not with them inside.
We get them away from the portal so nothing can use it.
Right, because in that way, because
There's
he
more
might
to
be able
learn.
to help
He
him,
knows
and
boots.
he knows boots somehow, and
He didn't
I.
call him Boots. He
We
called
don't
him
know
some
this
other
guy.
fucking shit.
I mean,
Yeah,
you need his
like-
eye.
like-
so
Nicer boots is what he called
But
them.
he did. He did
He
help
called
me.
them greaves, heavier boots.
They're like, yeah.
Technically, they're more shin.
Andy knows
birds, but-
Onculine. I don't know
We-
how, but they know Onculine.
Let's
Alright.
get out of here.
Based on what you're saying, let's just walk out here.
Michael never led us wrong.
And
That's-
Onculine's having a migraine right now, so I can't ask him how he's.
It's activating.
The well wall begins to activate
Too late.
and begins to roil.
Should we close that?
Either we close it, we go into it, or we run. That's the best idea with this. When
Shade
they go
does-
off like this.
She doesn't need to turn because she doesn't need to see, but she definitely notices and you feel her grip tighten on you. But she does like take a stance where it's more wider, so she's more in a space to
Out of the
act
room?
quickly.
I'll walk over to Shade and him while pulling out one of the manacles I've got this, and I will attempt to manacle him real quickly to myself.
Do you submit?
Oh, fuck no. This random ass dude that I just met tries to fucking put a fucking...
I put the manacle on me first, and then I try to slap it onto his wrist. I don't ask permission.
You do
or
this.
anything.
Get away from me.
like you see me like slap at his hands like each time, like it's like this each time he comes
This
out at
way,
me.
she knows you won't go anywhere because she'll have to fight whatever's coming through there.
Not important. We need to get out of here.
No. Yep.
Pretty sure she has me. Let's just go.
Run. Let's go. Let's go.
Are you guys
Well,
moving?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I scoop up Bast's pieces.
Yeah.
Word has like hit the top half of his torso. His legs are what's laying on the ground.
Okay, then I definitely don't leave that behind.
Yeah, you have to sled it though because it's
Yeah.
heavy. So
Drag
you're
it
just
by the
sledding the legs behind you.
I mean,
Um,
do you need
Just
some help? I
trailing-
can maybe carry
trailing
that.
all of the.
Yes, please.
I'm flying, so
Oh yeah, you're still fine.
I'm flying, so it's okay.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, let's go.
you see as you are moving through this area, because you're not moving expeditiously fast. You guys are carrying stuff. You're moving. You do see something pass through the event horizon of the well wall. It looks like a humanoid individual clad in shining armor with a helmet that goes like circular, completely no room, no spaces for eyes or mouth or nose, just solid on the front, kind of like a shining, not necessarily gold, but some other luster, perhaps brass or bronze, clad in armor that was then flanked by several other individuals holding what looks like large cyclical. If you had to take a guess, Zemdak and Argus, these look like black powder cannons, but there's no spot to put the black powder as they walk out, flanking this individual also clad in this armor. This is 100% easily to tell elvish design, no question, but nothing that's been seen for a very, very, very long time.
Is this anything that I recognize from like my travels or anything like that?
You don't necessarily travel through time. You
I know,
go
but-
across planes.
Do the skeletal structures look like the ones that were back
That-
at the dragons?
That was more
Or
the
like the red
question.
dragon?
Yes, yeah. I'm getting to both those questions. Dwarf history check. So the advantage thing, and history check as well. Also advantage because of what you've experienced.
20.
20.
God, I am just rolling my
I
shit.
my actual dwarf history thing. I could add more.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was it again?
History.
History.
8.
It'd be like 20.
I am just sucking it
No,
up today.
just more armor-clad individuals that look that someone told you to get away from. So you're getting away from them.
Well, and they look elvish, so get away, get away,
Yeah.
get away.
20.
20. This armor looks like the armor that was worn during the ancient Elven Empire. These cannons, you're not familiar with. They look like it's perhaps the aesthetic of like a black powder cannon,
But
but
it didn't look like
they
it
don't
doesn't
have-
look like the ones that we saw the schematics for.
You
that
see, like-
Zendak stole. Or,
no, they look exactly like that.
Okay.
They have like runes etched along
So,
them in a type of
yeah.
way, or
'Cause
perhaps
that's
they're
a different type of thing.
arcane and rather than black
Yeah.
powder. Are you guys booking it?
Booking it, but then I will cast Sky Lounge. Yeah, let's just go up here for a little bit. I know not everybody
Staying
will
within
come.
this chamber
Yeah.
or past the doors?
Past the doors. Like we'll go around a
fit in
corner.
Sky Lounge now?
8.
There's no corner, so the chamber
So-
is like a
I think that's-
stout rectangle
We'd have to leave
with
some
pillars
room.
within where the well wall stands. Well, that's where the chamber where the gold doors are. And then if you were going into the gold doors, then you end up in that chamber with the dais and several other exits.
Yeah, the doors are still open, right?
The
So
doors are still
I'm
open. Are you
imagining that
trying
we
to
would have
slip
gone
through the doors.
I'm imagining we would have gone past the doors,
Okay, This
right?
is what's happening as you're like about to slip through the doors. As this is what you see as you're about to slip through, as you're about to go into the other chamber. You see these individuals come through this this event horizon makes no sense. I think the last thing you see is one of them in head. That's you see now, like there's 4, now there's 6, now there's 12, and there's appears to be like a whole battalion coming through here. One of the last things you see, or what you see, is one of the head ones removes their helmet, and you see a pale skinned, full-blooded elf with ice blue lips and frosted hair matted to their head and pulled back from the helmet that furrows their brow and exhales in the type of fog that your breath does in the winter, but down here in the desert, which doesn't make any sense.
It means he's cold.
Bad.
I-
This is bad.
Do I
bad.
recognize this person at all? Just curious.
You roll a perception check for me.
6. It's, I think a 9.
9. I think you are being rushed by the rest of them, that you maybe catch a glimpse, but it's just, you're moving. What are you guys doing? Are you trying to get through this door, or what's happening?
I would
Yeah.
run past the door and try to then cast Sky Lounge just outside so that we'd be in a nook and cranny and try to
Okay,
get
cool.
everybody up there.
Raz is moving as fast as Shade allows him to.
You guys kind of, yeah. At one point, Shade just grabs you by the back of the neck and lifts you off the ground and shoves you through the gate of the door and like tosses you off the dais before she pulls through, and she's like, "What the fucking shit, fuck!" And what are you guys doing? The door's open.
We're running. Yeah.
I
Shiny
stop
Castle
and
Sky
stand
Lounge.
protectively in front of Shade with the torch.
Shut the door! Shut the door! Shut the door!
She goes like, "Ah," and she pushes you away.
Yeah, I mean, close those big golden doors.
How are you guys closing the doors? Because they open, so they open into the chamber with the well wall. You'd have to like
Grab
only
your
the one
crowbars.
was open to draw. Only one was open to jar with the aid of a crowbar and a a magic eating scythe. How would you like to close it?
The same way.
She whips out her scythe and tries to pull it. Anybody else helping? What are you doing?
Sure, I'll
Pull out our
help.
crowbar.
I mean,
Mechanical word
What?
just grabs.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
we're just digs in their legs as they go into that whole platform type fire engine thing and a crane thing where those stabilizers go down and they latch into the ground as much as they can and grabs on.
Does that look like Tintin doing the meteor shield thing?
Roll a. Ooh, I'll say an intelligence check because this is tech, right?
Oh, God damn it. 6,
Poor
20,
Oscar's not been
14.
rolling well. Oscar's
Perception is 9.
there's just a whirl of happenings going on around you that you're just you know, I don't know if you guys have seen that meme where like, hey, did you make sure you put in dinner for your calendar tomorrow night because I really wanted to hit the place, and they're just like, we're like, oh, sorry, dinner tomorrow, me, yay! Like it's pretty much what's happening with Osfer, where he's just like, what is happening? There's just so much happening all at the same time. You're not really able to, as soon as you're trying to be like, what is that? Something else catches your attention because things are just rolling forward. You're being hit by the tidal wave and you're just being pushed forward and pushed forward. You notice the thing, but being able to think about it in the moment, not happening. Can you roll I want a strength check from Whir. I'm going to roll for Shade. Yikes. Anybody else?
All I can do is throw a crowbar out there and try to pull it through. Or help pull it in.
Sure. Strength check from you.
Nice. 5.
At advantage?
How far
No
away are
advantage.
they
But
from?
its crowbars are
How far
advantage,
away are
right?
they from the
So
door?
5. Oh, okay.
The people that are working on the door are at.
No. I mean the people beyond it, the elves.
They're marching maybe 40 feet away.
Okay. As soon as they're within.
Casting spells on the elves.
You're not. I didn't
I'm
ask.
right there.
Um.
Because I don't know Meckle.
So it's. I look through the door, and see how frantic everybody is, and take all of that fear, and focuses at with a cone 30 feet out.
Sure.
When the elves get into that range.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Yeah, because you're doing like.
I'm casting fear.
Isn't that a
Yeah.
charm?
Dope. Yeah. So everybody in that cone has to roll.
It's a 13. I'm sure they're not gonna.
You see everyone except for the lead person who had taken off their helmet and breathed like that cold air, halt
Okay.
and not move forward.
So if they failed, then they have to take the dash action to run away.
Yeah, you see these people begin to kind of do that whole like retreat thing where some of them actually do go back through the well wall. Both of the individuals, one of the individuals drops the arcane cannon. There were teams that were working on the arcane cannon and runs back through the well wall. But the stalwart individual who was spearheading this, is just continually, rhythmically marching forward about halfway to you now.
Dirty 20 from where?
Dirty 20 from where you feel this thing stuttering up against the limestone and the sand as the scythe hits in, and then you realize that the scythe needs to move and then she adjusts it and she pulls it and she adjusts it and she pulls it. Your crowbar, you're pulling, and you see it going, and it bends at a 90-degree angle, and now you have a bent 90-degree angle crowbar, and you're like,
That's coming
whoop.
handy.
Oh, I'll fix that.
And it begins to close before the individual grabs one of the arcane cannons, slaps it, rubs something into it, utters something, and there is a blast that comes from it. Is it?
I'm still right by the door.
Yes,
Crap.
you are. I want Shade, Meckle, and Argus to roll dexterity saving throws. Thraz, you're not there anymore, right?
Well, she threw me, and Thraz is very much,
Yeah.
those are elves. Get the fuck away.
Okay, what'd you get?
4.
It's a failure.
Nat
Oh,
20.
it's a save
For a
9.
21.
I got a 9.
Okay.
It's still a failure.
Were
13.
13. That's a failure. 20 is a success.
Nat 20, 21.
21.
How many times has Argus come?
And Shade succeeds as well. If you failed, you take
Depends.
32
Is he proficient
points
in it?
of force damage
Okay.
as this arcane blast goes. And there's this tiny little orb that shoots out. It seems to travel so fast that it's a beam, and then impact the side of the door before creating this shockwave of force. Those who succeeded take 16.
Did you roll for your shade too?
Yeah, she succeeded. She also takes 16.
I drop the fear because there's no way I can make that save. But I do not.
Luckily for you, most of the ones that were afraid have already gone.
Yeah, and I'm still up. Well, I may be knocked prone, but I'm still. And I don't shift.
Shade will like step over you to try to protect you a little bit more. The door is closing now. There's at a point where now there's no leverage. It is shut, but it's not airtight.
Okay.
You'd have to like pull it with some gravity now because there's no handle.
You guys need some help?
Are you casting the spell, the Sky Lounge, or are you doing this spell?
I can do Sky Lounge, but I can also do this. If we're
Okay.
talking about 6-second intervals, so
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
pulse wave.
Okay, cool.
Close
What does it
doors.
need to roll? Dex save or something like that? Or
The doors?
yeah, the strength save. Just because I'm doing it because they're very, very heavy. I'm wondering if the gravity is strong enough to pull them. They're solid gold.
each creature in that cone must make a con save, but it's not a creature. It says just that
I understand.
creatures and
Yeah,
objects.
no, you pull it
Yeah.
closed. You also
but-
feel like this whoosh of air that happens.
But
in the
also, any creatures that were behind that, which were within a 30-foot cone, got some stuff. So was the commander within that range? So con save, please.
moment. Was, but you will not be able to witness of what happens. To them.
Doesn't matter. They could get knocked out. You never know.
The door does close as you all
Okay.
can catch your breath. You're in a moment of moderate safety. You have finished casting the Sky Lounge.
Let's get in.
Yeah. Come on up.
Shade, can you put the magic back?
On the door.
That's a lot more difficult than you say it is. No, I can't. Whatever that was, nobody casted it. That was the world itself.
I mean, it's in your scythe. Can you spit it back out? No?
I
Okay.
can try.
Like I'm doing when I'm imbuing an object, can I just burn like a second level spell's worth of magic and like imbue the doors?
She sticks her scythe in there because she tries, because you asked her to do it, and you try to imbue it. I want you to roll an Arcana check for me. I want you to do it at advantage because items, magic, it's kind of your bailiwick.
24?
24. You have this like epiphany moment where you can like see the strands of magic, and you're like, ah, and you realize like you know how to create some sort of loom in order to thread the magic into a possible lattice as you just do it. You just like expand your mind and allow it to happen, and you do the exact opposite plurality of whatever it just ate and put it back on there. It is nowhere near the same. It's not like a bone where you snap it and then it mends back stronger. It's like metal. You snap it and it mends back weaker. It's nowhere near as strong, but it is there.
Okay.
You do sense some pressure from it, but whatever the ward is seems to be holding. You have a moment to yourselves now if you wish to discuss.
Ow. Do you still want to go upstairs?
Yeah.
All
In
right.
case she breaks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that did.
Upstairs? I don't see any stairs.
Oh, you
Up
see
the
this
rope.
little rope? Yeah. It's a nice, safe
But
place.
who's not going to go?
Yeah, because
There's only 8 of us.
well,
It holds how many?
we don't and Shade and
mean,
and Moonchild
One's in. Oh.
and Blur. Yeah.
I'm fine right here as I plop down on the ground.
You sure?
He's pretty hurt.
You know, if we go further away from here, it would be much better. Just easier.
This is-
No, this.
Sure,
They're
Maggie wants
assholes.
to leave.
We should leave.
Do you
There's
know
that
who
is
they
leaving.
Are?
Yes, they're elves. They're assholes. We should leave.
But
Not
have you
the-
seen ice elves before?
I've seen many elves. They are all assholes. We should leave.
I'm. So
We've
if,
met a couple that like were kind of all right. So
Yeah.
like,
if I
Yeah,
can,
but they've been on the fringe.
But did they?
I
Grow,
mean-
did they grow up in the Empire?
The more corners we can put between them and us is better. So we should probably just keep going.
the only thing is that this is like putting a little like a grease shield on the frying pan so that these two don't slip off of the frying pan. And continuing with your bacon analogy, sorry.
I was about to say like
Yeah.
we're talking a lot of cooking shit.
I know,
lately.
but this is another space.
Yeah, but they
It's
can
safe.
still know where the bacon is.
No, they won't, because it's a different space.
It's a new pan.
Yeah. It's like a pen within the pen, but it's an invisible pen.
Can we? So it's okay
a
to
lid on
stop
the
for some
pan?
food because
So there's,
There's tea inside the pan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can make
It's
some
new
coffee.
cooking recipe.
okay.
All right. Let's go
You have a
upstairs.
tea pan? That is really cool. You guys have to show me that.
Well, come upstairs. We'll show you.
Up rope.
Yeah.
You're apparently confusing people.
Wait, am I staying here or going up?
We're going up rope.
Up rope. Up top, up rope. Just climb, guys. It's like 10 feet. It's not that much.
Who are we leaving out?
So how many people can we get into here?
8. So,
Moonchild could probably hang out outside,
okay.
and Twig.
Well, Twig can go in your little pocket, right?
That's true. Yeah. I can poof them.
Yeah.
But we're still down one, right?
Yeah, either Shade or
If I'm
Can Whir stay down here? Or do you want him up there?
if I'm inside Whir's kind of an object, not a person.
Yeah.
Whir
Okay.
Whir is a
Raz
creature.
is gonna point at the body and go.
Whir is a
"Technically, isn't
construct
he
creature.
cargo.
Yeah, we're not counting the body.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The body is an object. It is a corpse, so it is an object.
Yep.
I know.
Can we put that in the box?
Not the box.
Are you guys all up in the Sky Lounge?
We're just trying to figure out who's going to be left behind. Yeah.
Moonchild, I think.
Moonchild and.
Shade's like, I'm not going up there.
All right. See
I'll
you in a
pass
bit.
you down some coffee.
Do you want me to hang out with you?
I try and reach for the rope.
Unless
We could talk about the. We
Did
could
you
talk
see
about
the
the
eye cells?
vision. It would be much better if we could talk about the vision in a calm place instead of here.
nothing about this place is calm.
Whatever's gonna come through that door is not calm either. We hide, maybe we have a chance. If we keep running, we have a better chance. Like I said, it's a bunch of elves. They're assholes. We should probably leave.
I'm not
Judging
going
somebody
into any.
based on race has never gotten us very far.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
not
not
going
fair.
into any place that I don't know everything about. So, no. I'll either stay here or I'll leave. But I need to keep an eye on you. So no, I'll stay here.
All right.
If I need to pull you down from there, I'll just tear you out from space.
We
Sounds
could just
like a good
run.
time.
Let's go.
That would be the better plan.
Whatever you think might threaten you threatens me far less.
I just already wasted the spell, guys. That's the only. That's all. That's all. But
And if
we
we
can
wait,
go.
if we hang out, I get more spells back. So
Yeah, and me too. Let's go upstairs. That's my vote.
If you need me to be
Up
your
rope,
scary
sorry.
dog privilege, I shall.
well, there's gonna be a scary wolf here with you.
Yeah.
So like,
Wonderful.
yeah,
I like dogs better than people anyway.
there you go.
They are pretty good.
Okay, fine.
All right.
Upstairs.
We need to run?
We'll run after.
All right, so you guys are all in the Sky Lounge.
Yep.
So you see like a just Bedouin, lots of like cushions and like like little curtains and things running down, and there's like tea stations throughout, and so it's very cozy, colorful. Yeah, so that's what you see.
And now I will take the time to inspect whatever the hell just showed up on my belt.
Yeah, sure. You reach and find a hand fan.
And it's just a hand fan?
It's right in front of you.
Good progress, dude.
But is it just a hand fan? Or is it
What do you do with it? You do that.
what else do you do with a
Well,
fan?
give that to me.
He opens the fan and it begins to fan himself, and you see as the veneer of his disguise gets blown away as though they were dust on the wind, and then you see Log like disintegrate and being blown dust on the wind before you don't see anything at all.
You still see the fan?
From like
Log?
where the wind is hitting, there's nothing.
Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Invisibility
we can't see
fan.
you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That I have not seen an invisibility fan before. That is unique.
No, let me identify that thing. I'll give it back.
Okay,
This is not worth me dropping my spell on you.
I think it kind of is.
All right, you can have your own fan back. I was just helping you out.
I know it's a cool fan. It does shit.
Okay,
See, it's not just
because we've never had any cursed items. And
You-
absolutely nothing
you
has
can-
ever
you-
happened
you
to
got
us.
You got that identify shit, right?
Yes, he. No.
I do.
Okay, yeah, she does. Okay.
you give it to her.
Yeah.
As soon as you let it go, it disintegrates, and then a shadow comes from your heel and forms up back into your
Oh,
belt.
yeah.
Well, that doesn't usually happen.
It's unique to you. That is
Can I
useless
touch
to
it?
me.
I'm gonna go over and touch the fan. Can I touch it, or did my hand go through it?
You can touch it.
You can hold it, and I can still identify it.
Okay. I want to keep fanning myself, though.
This is gonna be.
It's
awesome.
just
I mean,
like
this is a little warm.
as if like wind was buffeting the image of there's just nothing from here up.
All right, I'm gonna ritually cast identify on his fan
Sure.
while he's fanning himself.
You fan Zemdak. You see Zemdak's like half of his body just disappears. Just goes off into the wind. You see like his eyeball begin big and then disintegrate.
So this is how I get rid of my
Or at least
problems.
the image of what his eyeball would be.
Is it kind of like how people?
Are you
drift
saying I'm a
away with the
problem?
snap?
If Zemdak or the person that's being fanned was a painting and you paint and what you saw was a two-dimensional space, your fan like blows it off like leaves on the wind and but tiny little like shredded leaves. And so like the eye might get big and then blow away, but you're blowing off the image of what it is that you perceive to be the light of that person.
And then it disappears.
The snap.
Yeah. Well, it's an invisible. It's like the wind of that the fan is causing
but
is
the way
causing.
it disappears, kind of thing.
Yeah. Sir. So
I can find some
you
uses for this.
ritually identifying it. Argus's head gets filled with a bunch of very odd language that he doesn't quite understand because Eldritch language only you and a few others speak. But the gist of which, because just understand what is happening, is that it serves like a breath of shadow. So the wind that it produces, however much wind it may produce, cloaks that which is in it. And blows away the perception that it can. So rather than it blowing away actual objects, it blows away light, which prevents that anybody from seeing that thing.
Still poke him in the eye.
That's cool.
He's still there.
The name of which is right. The name of the item is called the Cloak Wisp fan.
Well, now that's interesting and cool, and only half of you here. Welcome. What's going on? Let's talk now that
Where
we are.
did you come from?
Yeah.
Where are we now? Well, I guess
Where?
not
Do you really
literally
wanna
here, but
where?
where did we just come from? Where? What? When?
In the maw.
What's that?
The deserts
the-
that are to the east?
Yeah, the east of the razor thing,
Yeah.
This is the sandy place, the sandy shit.
where my people come
Have you
from.
ever looked at a map? We'll pull out the map. The maw is here.
And we're
Okay.
actually down here in this little spot called Fortieta, but we're underneath it.
You're familiar with the maw. It's on
Okay.
the other side of
Yeah.
the razor thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where we
What?
were.
What year is this? Forgive me.
It is 1016. It's the.
Just scoot a little bit that way.
I believe it's the very end of the 15th of Aeon, if that's helpful. But
Okay.
it's been a little weird with time, so it might be off by like a day or two.
Okay. I'll take being off by a day or two.
Okay, wait, but you know the other short fucker.
Other short fuck. Who?
He's not that
What?
short. No,
The-
that's the
the
two
fish
parts
fucker.
are short, but like together.
No,
they're
our short fucker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
okay.
Me.
Not the fish one.
Word taps you on the head.
Oh, allow me to properly introduce myself now. My name is Thaznug from Ember Throttle. Thraz, if you please.
Thrasnug?
Yeah, I'm not
President.
remembering that big long one.
Ember Thrap. Ember Thrap.
What do you think, Zem? What nickname is this
Thrasnug
guy?
Ember
getting?
Throttle.
Zap. like Zap.
THRAZNOUG.
I was close.
THRAZNOUG.
Thrasnog. Okay.
Now that I get a good look at all of these people, do I recognize any of them from the cages in the club?
Out of context, yes.
Which club?
My Saturday night in Munich. Flashbacks. Cages in the club.
Right, there were all of these people popping up into the cages.
I'm not gonna make you roll for this. No.
Okay.
None of these people appear to be remotely similar. Are you still disguised?
Well, you said my fan was.
Yeah.
well,
I'm just saying, are
may
you
have
still?
seen-
But your body, your bottom part of your body, are you dropping it or are you keeping it?
It lasts an hour, so like.
It's up to you.
No, you know what I mean, because I just leave it on until.
Do you
it
want to
goes
be
up.
log or do you want to be the ascendant? My question.
Did you see the
Well, because once I
hologram?
turn it on, I don't have to think about it
Did you
anymore.
see
So
the
I just leave it
hologram?
on until whatever.
Just so
Of
I
the map?
understand what he sees.
Yeah. So, but you said that
Tintin's
it,
map?
Yes.
was
Right.
sold
You
it
saw
away.
the
When it
delusion go away
turned
before
into
you
the
went
different-
away. It was like
Right.
layer,
The
layer, layer.
Kenrin?
Yeah.
That would be.
My
Sorry.
ton.
What?
Maiton, yeah.
You
You
know, when
might-
you were messing with the thing and you hit so many buttons and
Yeah.
it turned into.
Yes, that's how I recognize her, and the name stood out. Okay.
You've seen Maitan before. I mean, you border the
no.
the Marisian.
Tintin's map, the hologram that turned into.
Yeah.
Ah,
Hit
yes.
too many
Yeah.
buttons.
Go ahead and roll a history check at advantage for me.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Okay.
That's much better. 16 minus 1 is 15.
15. Looks almost identical. Perhaps, maybe a little younger.
Mhm.
A little more fit, maybe. Who knows?
I mean, dog ears, you know, what can you say?
Ouch. Just ouch.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything we can do for Bast? And I point to the pieces that are just kind of like not quite together
I
yet.
have the normal spell I use, but I don't know if it's strong enough.
Does it hurt to try?
It takes diamonds. I just figured out another way to do it that will take more diamonds, but it's got a higher chance of working.
Well, you said that he was holding out on us on diamonds, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no.
So I'm like,
No,
where
no,
are all
no.
these diamonds coming from? You're making me
I
spend
checked-
all this money.
I checked all of the bags. No diamonds.
I can explain all of this when my companion is restored.
Well, when do you
Okay.
think you might be able to?
Tomorrow,
'Cause that's.
I have to prepare it. It's not something I have at all times.
Okay.
Are you amenable to that? I mean, he seemed like when he wasn't trying to kill us, he was
Are you
okay.
gonna slip away in that time?
Yeah.
No, I mean I want to help my companion here as well as best as we can. He can help explain. We've been through a lot of crazy stuff. What were you all? Were we in a tomb? What?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed like this guy's too.
Oh no. What? Why? Why were you in the tomb?
We were sent on a mission to find something of value. And
What was it?
Going into
I don't know what
tombs is kind of just a
I don't
recurring
know what
thing
Zay
for
was
us.
searching for, but I was searching for this, and I pull out the vision.
that
The
was
eye?
what we were,
What does that do?
Yeah. That was what we were looking for.
Where did you get that?
From the tomb.
With the
Give that to me
what?
right now.
What's why?
It is incredibly dangerous, and it must be destroyed.
But
A
what
lot of
Why?
people seem
What
to
does it
really
do?
want this shit.
Can't it stay with the Walking Oddities Museum?
the walking oddities?
Is that
Yeah,
just
and
the
then
name for
at that point, Thraz starts pulling out like his collection and like showing
It's
off
a
his
working
items.
title.
Yeah.
Are you?
I thought he meant us.
You said you were sent here to retrieve this artifact.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who sent you?
A dead fucker.
For lack of a better term, yes. We beholden, if you will. What? Why? What is going on with this artifact that we need to be aware of? That's
I'm afraid I might have. Well, you all stumbled into it yourselves, so
It's not the first time.
yeah.
best arm ourselves with knowledge. What do you know about Masha Ehrenbach?
Fucking bitch.
Where do you
Too
want to
much.
start?
Yeah.
I have a feeling Thraz just knows the name and he just groans hearing the name because it's Aaron
no.
Bach.
We
That's all you know. You just register she's an elf.
No, like, well, no, Thraz would have heard of the Aaron Bach name and everything. He just
have you
groans
met
hearing
her?
that.
no, not in
No.
person.
Meckel, you're up here, right?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Being bored out of my freaking mind.
I
Oh,
thought you were resting. So
I'm
you're trying to heal.
right now. I'm trying to figure out how to take off the manacle.
So on
Okay. par. During this, if you guys want to, I mean, please continue. But you guys can get a short rest after this if you like.
So I had hoped that
You
my
can eventually get
companion
the manacle off.
might help fill in any gaps I'd miss in the story, but best get on with it.
Yeah.
This may sound
I'll
incredulous,
throw out my fire.
but
Just anything that's a one.
So if it's a 1, it turns into a 2.
Yay. Okay.
this is her
Yeah, I pull out my
eye.
little. Is this her eye?
Yes.
Oh, I also
Carved
had
it
the
out of her face myself, and I hold up the melon baller.
Well, how is this her
But
eye?
it came out of a eye monster.
Are
No.
you telling me I haven't?
When you guys opened the tomb,
Yes.
they were still
Oh, Thraz
just
is
eyeballs.
grinning so like happily with
There
that
was in the tomb. There was a box. A
There-
container. Well, not that any of you actually saw, unfortunately. So you don't know
There's
because it burst and
there
and
should
happened.
be
They
a
started
second.
as eyeballs, though.
There's
They wouldn't have known. They didn't see inside the tomb until
No,
things
they
were down.
bounced out before they turned into
Yeah.
things.
Right, the box, and then it opened. and-
Yes.
Yeah.
So you guys saw like
There-
artificial eyes.
there should be a second one. Do you guys have?
It's down there with the tall, scary lady.
The scary lady has that.
Okay.
But she's trying to get.
You're welcome to try and take it from her. I mean, you know.
She.
These. Where do I start?
Oh, we talked about this actually. Oscar, roll a history check. Because I believe I mentioned the Dorkennen rye to you, didn't I?
The what?
The Dorkennen rye to you at one point?
That sounds familiar.
Yes. I think I did mention it.
13.
13. Yeah, there's that whole. You look down, you see that idea of the Dorkennen rye, of these individuals of who knows, tall, mostly feminine figures, perhaps just towering in height, mostly from what the tales have said, blind, come to sweep up whatever need not be recorded by history and then disappear. And they are a myth because the legends say that if you see or encounter or have any reason to know that Dorkennen exist, then you're already dead.
Okay, that's not awesome. Okay, where do I start? I knew Masha before she went by that name. She was a traveling companion of myself and of Bast here, amongst others, but through our travels, we ended up far in the future and in a place where she and her husband rule over the ashes of the world here.
Okay.
If you guys have ever encountered dark Icarus monsters,
Not that we've seen.
Only in my head.
That's true. That's
it's troubling. Okay. Well, the long and short of it is, there exists a corruption that we failed to stamp out before our time, and it poses an existential threat to all of CrestVahllen.
When is your time?
Yeah, TJ, when is my time?
Now,
When am I?
I'm pretty sure we're back in
Your time is
my
always
time, right?
now.
How would you have any idea?
They
What
told me
time
what
you
year it
came-
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What year it is?
I-
Oh,
yeah.
they told you what year it is? It's
Yeah.
the same year.
Yeah. Okay.
1016.
My time is now,
Then
but
how were you traveling with her before she went by her name when she's gone by her name since I've
yes,
been born?
there's
Timey-wimey.
Time stuff, yeah. That makes sense.
she becomes incredibly powerful to the point where she can manipulate time. We
So what time does she come back to?
Is she the salty mistress?
I know nothing of that.
Yes.
She's salty and she's a mistress.
Yes, ma'am.
Raz is just sitting there like wiggling like a puppy, thinking about the fact that he has an Aaron Bach eye in his hands right now, and like he could totally just destroy it.
What?
However,
do you guys do?
I think,
Yeah.
point of order, as far as Ehrenbach is concerned, you understand the gravitas of that name, but probably not as much contextually.
Oh
as
no,
the
no, I'm
rest of
talking.
these.
I'm talking just from where he is
Sure.
and the gravitas of the name going.
The gravitas of that name being so prominent in like so much stuff that has just had did you just experience, but probably not by any as much as these people that have actually experienced firsthand.
yeah, except for he just literally told me that this thing is a priceless curio in my hands right
Yes,
now. That
yes,
this is
yes,
literally
very much.
like two of a
Yeah,
kind, and I have
it's like
one.
saying you didn't know Van Gogh personally. You didn't experience what Van Gogh was doing, but you know the name.
And all of a sudden, I have a Van Gogh painting in my hand right
Exactly.
now that I can do whatever I want with.
they
It's an ear.
I'm not versed in the arcane arts, but having experienced these eyes firsthand, what I can tell you is nothing short of subjugation. She uses these to impose her will on everyone and everything. They are incredibly dangerous to be in her hands, and she has hunted me through time to prevent me from destroying them. I wrestled one out of her face, and she'll never stop hunting me to get it back. I don't know how they ended up here with Bast, but if we can destroy them, they should be destroyed.
So, do we think that little brother is trying to maybe subjugate her?
Right?
Take over? Yeah.
But what's worse? What happened in this time frame that he lived in?
Did you
Right.
say brother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That,
Shouldn't have a brother.
that's
No,
well,
Vlad.
Vlad.
That's how he introduced himself
I'm
to
sorry,
the group.
Vlad. Yes.
Yeah.
yes. Sorry.
Yeah, not. Yeah.
She,
So it may
You did this
very
to
well
yourself,
be
man.
that you were sent here, maybe not directly by her, but for her benefit. No one else wants these eyes.
No,
more
there's.
We're,
Then
we're
Masha Ehrenbach.
this the person who sent us is in direct competition with her.
Yeah.
Then maybe he knows that she's missing them.
Yes, he would know.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's been planning a revenge for quite some time.
I live for the moments of Adam being in two different campaigns as epiphanies. Discord me. No, please do. I want to hear it. Adam, this is
this is an order from the GM.
no. I will never order you, but this is a request.
Strongly recommend you
figure
do
it out.
so.
We'll figure it out.
But I want to hear it because
Because he needs to be fed.
for
That's why
reasons.
TJ.
For reasons. Please. Go ahead. Please continue.
Yeah.
So, like. Okay.
Do you know how to destroy these things? If they are this powerful.
I have a sword. I can try to chop it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's.
Can you even wield that fucking thing?
When I whip it around and do some kensei stuff.
Well, we don't have enough room in here.
The alacrity and the expertise that this person wields a sword almost the same size and height as them is phenomenally impressive. They appear to be one being acting as two bodies.
Kind of like the guy that was
Yes.
cut in half.
Well,
Some crazy fucking shit.
Yeah.
who grew up near the temple,
Well-
the Wa'anaute temple?
Am I close there? We've met an open hoof monk.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Well-
you've been to Tacona.
Yeah.
When
Have you been to
We,
Tacoma?
no, we traveled with it.
I don't know.
That's
where
what I mean.
Where
Well,
my
and I was
list
getting ready to
travels
ask if anything about him reminds me of fucking
Vleeter?
Yeah.
In
De
the
Vleeter?
fighting
Yeah.
cage.
De Vleeter wasn't part of the monkish order, but I know what they were
thought-
human.
I thought you described them as part of the monkish order.
De Vleeter?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, his fighting
It's
style
been a while.
his fighting style was very monkish.
Yes, his fighting style was. Okay,
It's
you know
been
what?
a long time, so-
Insight history.
She was.
Zemdak history, log insight,
Willow?
Argus.
We all traveled with Willow.
Yeah, we travel with Willow.
Yes, Argus history.
We
Sorry, what was I rolling?
History.
all traveled with Willow, though.
15.
I mean, I'm still wearing my monk robes.
Yeah,
like, I'm
yeah,
not trying
that's
to
a
hide the
given.
fact that. Yeah.
15.
It would be you four would be the only ones.
This is
eligible.
4 more. What is it?
13.
13.
16.
16. Like looking back, seeing how Willow fights, seeing the way that Osfer carries themselves, De Vleeter may have been like a flunky. Someone who like probably had those types of things, but eventually said, maybe this isn't for me, but I'm going to
washout?
still use what something like that. 13, correct? You immediately recognize the robes that they're wearing as the Order of the Open Hoof.
Yep.
100%. Willow's robes, those type of thing, Order of the Open Hooves. They've been through a lot, though. Normally you'd think, like, oh, yeah, I realize the Order of the Open Hoof goes on pilgrimage and goes to try to find information in order to make sure that we learn from our mistakes, kind of like rebuilding the Library of Alexandria from scratch. By going to find out as much old history as they can and dealing with whatever the harshness of the world is and the dangers of the world along the way. 100% part of the Order of the Open Hoof. Also extremely skilled. By that you also understand that this individual did you say how old you were?
I didn't say how old I was.
You
but-
said
Called him a
45.
boy.
Yeah.
When
like
you're describing yourself.
the description, yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
I would say
But, like-
probably looks, if you had to give it, you would consider them comparable to how prodigious you are compared to your age and skill level.
Okay.
How skilled you are and how well and how instinctively you catch on to things and learn things so quickly. This person appears to be the same way in their martial prowess.
Okay.
You got a 15? 100% Order of the Open Hoof. You also, for some reason, there's part of your brain that's like, why does this person look familiar? And you're racking your brain, you're like, I've never seen this person, and as far as I remember, I've never seen this person before. But why do they look so familiar? So that happens sometimes in real life too. You're like, do I know you?
Do I know him?
You look familiar. I mean, I've only met one other open hoof recently.
Does Meckel remember?
Who
That was Willow.
There's no reason why Michael would.
would I?
But they share. They
Oh,
share
Yeah.
right. I
Yes.
keep forgetting that.
Oh. Yeah.
You're gonna have to constantly remind me of that.
I just
I'm sorry.
did. Yeah. Yeah. I love you too.
Go ahead and roll a history check as well.
14.
14. I think you have like the equivalent type of feeling. Do I know you?
Yeah, you have met.
But where?
I don't remember that. I just know you
You definitely have
have.
that feeling like
Then
I've
what's the
never
point in you being
met
in my
you,
head?
but why do I feel like I?
Yeah.
That type of feeling.
Where's this benefiting me?
So like,
Have you
the
journeyed
human is
to
in the
our temple?
dwarf's- the
I
hu-
mean,
the human is in the
in,
dwarf's head.
You drop people off at
Passing,
Tacona.
yeah. I've done runs there, but not like.
Our
really
souls
anything.
hugged.
Perhaps you had my father's beer if you've stopped in Tacona.
Interesting.
I don't you know, it's always you stop where you stop. But I don't know why that would matter in me recognizing you.
The only time I've seen you is
You've seen me?
I don't
I've
remember
seen a memoriam to you.
Who built me a memorial?
I fucking want to know
He said he
that.
knows me.
Now, was it lit on fire? It better have been constantly on fire.
There was
I-
a little candle next to it.
Yes. There was a candle.
Just a candle, that's it.
and, well, that hammer.
So you
But was
know
the
me from the future.
Yes, and I know much of what I have said might sound incredulous, but perhaps
We've seen weird shit. It's fine.
I wonder. Can you ask? Do you know Anki, King Anki?
There are no kings.
We know Anki.
Yeah.
You call him King Anki?
That's how he introduced himself.
I'm not going to let him keep that title.
Pretentious,
No, he
motherfucker.
needs to be
It's
knocked
his
down
sense
the
of
peg.
humor.
I'm not letting him keep that title.
He may know me.
I tried to ask him earlier, and all I got were voices. So many voices that it gave me a headache.
You never allowed the spores to enter you, correct?
Like a painful number of voices.
I thought you were used to that shit.
I thought he figured out how to make them quiet after the beer pit, but I
hope everything is
Did
okay
Bast?
in there. Bast did.
Bast did.
Yeah.
Who's Anki?
Some fun guy.
He's a fun guy.
He's a very fun guy. Yeah.
He's a real fun guy. We met in Midnight.
If
it's a pun.
you're
He's
Is
a
he a
mushroom
fun
man.
guy or is he a fun guy?
He's a mushroom
Yes.
man.
And yes.
A mushroom being.
We're going to use
That
the
doesn't
next
answer
hour.
the question.
In case you're watching, you can skip ahead another hour. The next hour is gonna be just nothing but puns.
He's a myconid person who can speak to all of his other instances of
We actually are the one who initially spread him.
And how many people is he connected to?
hundreds.
A fuck ton.
Hundreds?
He's in some guy's shit bucket.
What?
He's not unique, if that's what you were asking. I mean, he is unique. They are unique. I never asked him his pronouns. That's on me. They are unique. But they are also an individual. Singular.
They are so much. The plural they is probably the best.
it's like
way
a
to
hive
describe
mind
them.
almost.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
This sounds
Yeah.
interesting.
If
They
you're-
are one, but they are also everywhere.
How did
Yeah.
you meet them?
The non-binary.
They tried to sell
plural
us
is probably-
potions.
Yeah,
in,
he's an
Midnight.
Oh,
alchemist.
they make potions.
The definite
I
article.
definitely want to meet him. Then.
The definite.
Also drugs.
Yes.
I
But
mean,
drugs are part of potions.
Yeah,
What are
it's-
you talking about?
It's just
You make
some
drugs.
arcane,
I can brew a good potion, yes.
but can you brew arcane?
Can you
somebody
brew?
heal me?
Can you brew a potion?
You can make many potions.
I don't know if I want to. ignite
matter of
this,
fact,
but I know.
yes, you can.
Thank you. I wasn't sure yet. We hadn't talked
You
about
can.
You know, I like him.
One of the doctor's potions.
Maybe later. I
I
I
give
could
you an
use one of those right
injection.
about now.
I can give you an
It,
injection.
it's also a lot. It's a lot harder for you to do
11?
it than it would be like Melodonna to do it.
Okay.
But you know like the basics.
These always tickle.
You're not Breaking Bad. You're
Oh.
dude. You're under the bridge.
Yeah.
Nope. You go.
So if your
We're gonna
headaches
do red hot chili peppers. and
have
Walter
subsided,
White
perhaps
together.
you can ask him again. Also, they seem to know you by another name. In the time I met you, you introduced yourself as Greaves, although, well,
That's
your
still on brand for him.
yeah,
come-
that
that
makes
sounds
sense.
about right.
I come up with nicknames quite often.
Who are
Every
any
fucking
of
day.
Sorry.
Why don't you guess?
they called
Okay,
you
so
General
asshole
in
1
the
through
future,
6.
is that-
Got it.
Tresheni Yonkmood, nice to meet you.
I guess Firebeard.
In the
Argus.
city
Ah,
we met you in,
Firebeard. Interesting.
you were in charge of its defense. There were many who
I'm still
reported
used
to
to
you,
cold-
called you
using
General
cold
Greaves.
accents.
That's how we know you. Me and Bast, well. if there's any saving him.
We will find out
There's,
tomorrow.
there's a way. There has
Who
to be a
would
way.
give me responsibility?
Seriously.
That's
I
a good
mean-
question.
So the diamonds I referred to were
Mine.
you
the
grew
future?
a room of diamonds.
You've got to figure out how to do that. Like now, dude. Seriously.
Emeralds.
It's a good idea.
All types of gemstones. You claim they were worthless.
That's a.
Well, depending on where you are.
Now, how
say-
big
say
was the
really
garment
are.
section?
Was this shit organized?
Was his workshop pretty? Yeah.
Meticulously.
Yes.
That doesn't sound right.
We're not talking about the same person. We are not talking about the same person.
Maybe-
You actually had pointed that out, and when you'd mentioned it, they'd look extremely sullen.
But he looked just like he does now.
So you're saying it sunk in? It finally sunk in.
Careful with the meta.
Yes, I can learn.
No, that he finally.
The future
I'm getting better.
was a dire place. Perhaps organization was necessary.
But to her question, I look like me.
yeah, like exactly. Because I mean, you don't age anymore,
were-
so
Yeah, that's a good question.
He looks older.
He was older.
He
in the
was
future.
older, yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
White hair, much older, not ancient, but
Do you know how far in the future you went?
700 years?
Is he still
give or
bitey?
take? I think that's right.
that's
It was 769, if I remember correctly.
So
Is he still
I
bitey?
chose the 69 as the 10th in the first place because I know it would
far
be
as I
easy to
know,
remember.
yes.
Because I knew you'd do that stupid fucking nice shit.
But yes, it was.
so that means we find a way out of it later.
right.
Okay, wait. This motherfucker got a memorial. What the fuck did I get?
I don't recognize you.
Motherfucker.
You're still in disguise, so
You are?
any memorial,
invisible.
any memorial I would have seen wouldn't be.
And you're waving your fan right now, so like
Yeah.
he's talking to like half of your body,
But this
and not the half with a mouth.
this grave future may yet be prevented. It was only one of a possibility. I'm not
That's all
expert on these things, but
Do you know what the precipitating event was at all that started all that?
the corruption that my companions and I were trying to stamp out grew and took over.
Do you know when?
It was about 100 years afterwards, right? After we left.
I'm not sure if I put a number on that. I'm not sure if I put a number on that.
Yeah.
It,
Was it 1 month, 2 weeks, and 2 days?
Yeah, it did. Well, it had been. I guess working backwards from where we were, we knew at that point it had been like that for multiple hundreds of years.
the fall of like
yeah.
as far as you know was calculated in years. So as far as like what part of that year,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was ever that specific.
Yeah. Vaguely 100, 200. I really don't know.
Okay. Just trying to figure out if we have time or not, but
I hope so.
yeah.
A couple hundred years.
I mean, I'll be dead, but you know, you guys will carry on. It'll be fine.
Let's see if I let you die.
It just gives you a hug. Yeah.
I'll find a way to reincarnate her.
Yeah.
God, horrible.
So when hopefully tomorrow we can revive my companion. He can back up the story. Perhaps provide more context.
All right. In the meantime, until that happens, do you prefer just Thraz, or do you prefer going by your full name, or
Traz is
Thraz is fine?
preferable, yes.
Okay. So yeah, what should we do
I'm not-
with
You look
the
like lightning.
thing?
I am not you. I
With
do
the
not
eyes?
collect nicknames like
Well,
Until then,
If possible,
the
now
pebbles on the
destroy
ground.
But you
the
collect
one we
knickknacks.
have here and convince
Different story.
the downstairs lady to give us the other and destroy it as well.
that's the problem. We have to
Nicknames,
come up with-
knickknacks. It seems
talk
like
about that.
they go hand in hand. You know.
Not saying it'll be easy, but
But how
No,
useful
not with
are his
her.
names? My knickknacks are useful.
How much he fucking hides out? It's kind of
So,
useful.
Shani, can you
actually.
roll a Constitution saving throw for me?
Cool.
Oh no.
Nothing's wrong with that.
Go for a low one.
Oh, hey, it's not terrible. Why is that? Oh, right. Sorry.
Right. This is
Things. No. There was.
This is this character.
Yeah. Well, because of the tattoo I have now. I was doing quick math
I
in my
keep
head and it didn't work
falling
out.
deeper and deeper in love with you
Why didn't you ever say
17.
that to me?
because I'm not dating you. How about that?
Sure.
You
Not
also asked me
officially.
to call you daddy on a camping trip. So it's not happening.
Not on camera.
Grandma.
Yeah.
17.
17. You are familiar with
Yeah.
the tug-like feeling. Feels like your sister has had more of the experience of what that tug feels like than you have. Not to say that you are not both inexorably tied to this planar portal type existence or feeling or transportation or whatever it may be. However, the actual visceral tug perhaps might not have been experienced by you as much until you have connected with your sister. And now that you know what that feels like, because you've embodied what your sister actually feels like, both of you have stepped into each other's shoes, proverbially. You feel... I almost lost my thought. Oh, how dare you? You are like, I'm 90% away from like actually losing my fucking thought. How dare you? Ugh. No, it's gone. God damn it.
So-
God damn it.
There was a
A
tugging.
tug.
Tugging.
Dimensional.
rub, then there
Like
was
you
a-
had a
Someone
bad
saying
sushi.
Yes.
Hold on, it slide.
The tug, not a rub.
You feel that
We almost had this back, guys.
do a
I-
big
I
old
let it
slap
slide.
across all y'all. This. What was the question you just asked? Because I'm sorry, I completely.
Sorry, I-
No,
all of
you-
you
the 3
lost.
ones
me.
I
You made her
Right,
roll
you
a
rolled
con save.
Yeah, yeah.
You made me roll a con
But I want to know
save.
what it is you were just talking about because
Because
you
I
all
was
made me
asking
lose
about
my
what
con-
we should do with the eye, given that there's shade downstairs, considering that we
Right.
have a moment to just talk and figure out until tomorrow what we're going
There's
to
a
do.
tug from you to Thras. There's a tug that you feel. Your sister feels it stronger because you know what your sister feels. But you've also felt it as well when you're near a well wall. You did that whole Anime Beach episode. You had the
Mm-hmm. It was
one where you
fun.
had that crossover. You've been through well walls before. You know what it feels like to be cugged to it. You've been hunted by marauders in this weird realm. You've had things where, and anytime you manipulate space and time, there's a possibility of you crossing an event horizon. You know that tug. For you, it's more intermittent. For your sister, it's more constant. It's something that become a little bit more familiar with. And now that you've embodied the mind and stepped in the shoes of your sister, you are able to recognize it a little bit easier. Just like not being desensitized, but more being able to recognize it as a feeling. Thras feels like the essence of a well wall, like a mobile well wall. He feels like that. That's what he feels like.
Bacon slipping on a pan.
What would you get for your con save?
17.
17. I think I want you to roll an Arcana check too, and I want you to roll that in the Tower of Terrazine. Because depending on what you get on here, entirely changes the mechanics of one of your abilities.
Well, that's okay. All right.
You gain one of my 10.
I'm not trying to be melodramatic about it. I'm sorry, but I just
Just roll on the
wanted
thing
to
of
justify
death.
it.
Not bad. So that's a 22.
So you know how one of your abilities that's associated with the Rent Horizon has to do with your distance from a well wall.
Yeah.
As far as that ability is concerned, he counts as a well wall.
Okay. Okay.
As far as when that procs, it is when they. I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
Okay.
Mr. Osfer, you said that the lady can track her eyes. She knows where they are. She's come after you for them.
Yes, she'll.
But remind me, please remind me.
She has immense power over time. And I worry that just because we destroy, if we're even able to destroy them now, she may be able to find them earlier in time. So perhaps that's why.
It seemed like your friend was buried with them.
Perhaps why he might have tried to keep them secret and bury them, and perhaps why this lady's down here. I know she.
Point of order. I'm so sorry. I should have mentioned this before. This is absolutely my mistake. But that birth, like that wake of energy that you felt of like kind of an out of place space time, you also feel from the corpse, the two pieces of the corpse.
I know they are yours. I'm not trying to take them from you, but could I keep the eye for you? Temporarily.
I don't like when my collection is tracked. Yes, send it back. This is fine.
Until we know how she's tracking them, and I'm going to put it in the lead box in my bag of holding.
Well, perhaps the lady downstairs is meant to make sure that
Yeah,
no one
I
finds
was-
out that these exist here. Or perhaps she's been sent by Masha somehow. Her powers are immense.
Who is she? She is very unique. Are there more like her, or is she alone?
Yeah.
She has a husband, a daughter.
Masha has a daughter?
It's all very wrapped up in time.
Oh, I was asking about Shade, actually.
Oh,
Yeah. I knew that, but I was just like,
I don't think we should put them back together.
No.
why?
Yours was in one of your
No, the two
pouches.
pieces of the dry guy.
Keep.
Why?
Because they feel the same as these two.
Are you saying you want to take them
I'm sorry,
apart?
not these two. No.
They're more.
When the
They're bacon.
no, they're grease. The so I think I'm mixing up my words. The well wall bubbled, and the bubbling feels like putting those two pieces together would form another similar bubble.
I'm not familiar with the weld walls. Is this a
The big thing you popped out of? That was a well.
The big like.
Right,
portal
but
type
but
thing.
There's a lot of them all over.
I think it wasn't necessarily okay. You guys,
This log trying to do math.
The two things were once one thing. It's like how there's like you have the two hands, but you're like one like
It's the
thing.
opposite of
Point
addition.
of order,
like-
Alex. You remember where you woke up?
Mm-hmm.
and
I
how
just
you
haven't
got
told them
here,
about that yet.
and how you got here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just didn't know that. And Osfer does not know that those have names. So, yeah.
so I think what that bubble wasn't the well wall. It was something.
Using the well wall?
Yes. So if you take that bubble as whatever burst and the things came out, the elves and whatever, if you put the two pieces back together, it forms another bubble that will pop.
That
You think?
But those elves looked like ancient elves.
But that's what I'm saying is
But-
instead of going from here
But
to
if
Doctor's
Masha
house.
is from this time, then traveled back in time, then she was with the ancient elves when she became Masha from whatever name that she had with Osford.
So that might be her henchman trying to come
long,
fetch.
long ago.
Trying to come fetch the eyes.
GM, the behavior of the well walls, is that anything that I'm familiar with, or is that new to me?
Yes.
I
That
want
he's
you to
describing with that
roll an
bubble.
Arcana check. What are you proficient in Arcana?
I believe so. But let me double check.
Meckel does not have.
I wanna make sure it's something you're
dealing
proficient
with
in.
these
I am
high-end concepts.
So
he's
you
like,
can roll an Arcana check at an advantage for this.
Can I want to poke my head out of the rope trick.
Sure.
Shade, can I hang on to that for you? Masha apparently has a way to track them.
The eye?
Yeah.
Roll a persuasion check. What'd you get?
16.
16.
Yeah, let's have that back.
Space and time are so intertwined and braided that often they leak into each other's paradigms. There is very few that is there is very little that is outside of the imagination of possibility. Maybe. One of the things that you've learned as traveling through multiple planes and portals and searching for curios is that your predisposition and your preconceived notions of what is and what isn't had to be shattered, to be replaced with a blank slate to restart. You know when you're a kid and you realize like, oh,
Santa is
It's
this is
that
how
it's
my
that
hand
shattering
works.
of
This
like
is how gravity works. Like you had to shatter all of that and be a newborn once you realized a different form of existence.
I have a.
So it's possible.
okay.
It's possible.
I-
As far as time is concerned, space may be just needed to be tweaked in a certain way in order for time to be changed. I'm sorry, what did you get?
17.
17 for what
Persuasion.
was persuasion check.
The eye is yours. I just want to make sure.
I'm about
she
to come
can't-
to you. I'm so
That's
sorry.
fine. That's
I
fine.
just want to make sure she can't find us.
She's gonna ask.
I need to talk to
collateral.
Vlad.
I need collateral.
They're gonna send metal, aren't they?
Trust, but verify. I'm sure you understand that.
I got my Granny Lonely doll.
You didn't hear that. It's on the other side.
Actually, it's open because he
Yeah.
has his head open. I know. So I can hear it.
Unroll the portable hole, reach down into it, and pull out a diamond the size of my head. Will that suffice?
It is a mineral. It's a rock. What use do I have for a rock?
It's a diamond.
I knew
It
about
is life. It is.
A rose is a rose is a rose is a rose. A diamond is a diamond. It means nothing to me.
The first construct I make that has true life will come from something that can contain a soul.
Then give me your construct.
I can't.
Order him to be mine until you return what I've requested.
How about the heart of my firstborn?
Your firstborn?
I'll
And what
pull
use
out-
is that to me?
I'll pull
The
out
only reason why I
Crash's
want
battery.
this is because it is of use to me.
Fine. Do what she says until I tell you different.
I want you to know this is not because I desire the fall of you from grace. This is because I know that faith is not a viable.
I just want us to be safe until we know what these things are. It's yours. I'm not taking it from you. I'm holding it in a place where she can't find it.
I feel the same way. I want myself to be safe.
That's fine.
So if that means that I take
Or will
your-
obey your advice over mine.
Very well. As word jumps down from the Sky Lounge.
Until
and
the
saddles up
eye is
behind.
returned to you. You are
That
his
is the
master.
last order you've given to Word. So they will until there is no the kill switch is returning the eye to them.
Yep.
No other command will divert them from now their utter and unequivocal command of
Well, he actually did say until I tell you otherwise was part of his command. throwing it out there.
What are you
Until the
saying?
eye is returned to you, Whir is yours to command.
Very well. I accept these terms. Whir jumps down and takes flank with them, like kind of back to back, just doing the whole soldier, making sure nobody's has like 360 degree perception. And she pops the eye out from the eye of her scythe as she reaches in with the claws of her plate gauntlet. And she hands it to you.
I put it in a little sack into the lead box, into the bag holding.
There have been a lot of experiments of trust lately.
Thank you.
Wasn't talking to you.
Pop back into the lounge. I don't think she can find him at the moment.
I don't know if Masha has the ability to track them. I just know that she is desperately searching for them. And having them here intact puts all of us in danger.
How magical is she? Is she very magical, or is it?
She's
is he a little bit?
She's incredibly magical.
Yeah.
And these are a part of her, you say?
She will replace her eyes with these eyes and gain immense power.
But they are not her, like, actual eyes that she magically changed. Is that correct?
As far as I know, yes. These are some magical
She had
artifacts.
real eyes at one point.
Yes.
And now she has these eyes.
Yes.
So I can't like scry at her with these eyes because they aren't hers.
Does that mean that she currently has these eyes in Tule?
Today?
Today?
Yeah, Tule is where she
Tule.
lives.
Not too late, actually.
I think-
that's the wrong city. Wrong city.
Sarnlu.
Thank you.
I think people would.
One letter off. Just one letter off.
I think people would notice.
Not even close.
Sarnlu and Tule, yeah, that's
Sarnla.
I think people would notice.
Say the first
SARNLEUX.
letter.
Well,
I think people
Yeah, I
would
was going
notice
by the first
gemstone
letter.
eyes.
if
It would be something
X.
that is noted about her, and it's not something that is commonly known.
So if we
I guess the answer is I don't know. Masha, as she existed
Am I
when,
wrong? Like,
when we traveled
somebody with
together, did not have
gemstone
these,
eyes
but
would be something that people would talk about. And we haven't heard
perhaps.
that.
Well, look at your half-visible friend over there. She may be able to do something special.
I think
Can
we
I roll
need to get
something for
back.
timey-wimey stuff?
I
In
think we
what
need to get
sense?
back to Vlad.
Mishani
this
and what they
Vlad?
just saw.
Bit of an
Because it would've been
asshole,
too-
kind of undead.
I'm like on 6. You have to
He-
jog my memory.
Mishani and
Aaron
what they
box?
just saw in the
He'll like
Baker's
stand
dozen,
behind
because it was
some
2
back
weeks
and
ago.
point down and go.
In,
Yeah.
like
in the
mouth forward.
timeline.
Then I strongly advise that we do not do
You
that.
have to keep good jogging my memory. I'm sorry.
Or if
They just
anything, tell
met
him
Lady
you
Can
failed.
we
Aaron
keep
Bach.
one conversation going?
Just
in
Yes,
return?
sorry.
He's at odds with
One second.
Masha.
Please continue, but
I believe
Baker's
you
does-
might believe that. I can't trust that that's true.
okay, 1 second.
Baker's dozen just met Lady Masha Ehrenbach on the 1st of Akiel,
Mm-hmm.
which was 2 weeks ago to where the Argent Flame is. I'm wondering and
As
asking.
far as like the current timeline
'cause you had the brain.
chronologically.
I had the brain meld,
Connection.
and there's times where it's procced otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Am I allowed to try to think about?
What are you trying to discern from this unconscious?
I'm trying. It's not an Arcana check. It's more of what he just said was, "Oh, nobody's noticed the gem-like eyes of."
Did Misheni see
I'm-
her?
Did
with-
I
Misheni
understand.
saw the flashes?
Absolutely.
Would there have
yes.
been a?
I will give you an option to roll. I'm going to say it's a history check.
Okay,
Sorry, I want you to pick up exactly where you left off, but she had a good point.
19.
19. The description, as they begin talking about these eyes of shattered emerald and sapphire irises of these eyes, if you remember correctly, the Masha that Misheni had seen in her chambers in Sarnlu once Tamrin was summoned to their audience, both of those eyes were as such until there was a fleeting moment where the eyes became almost the
Tamrin's.
exact copy of Tamrin's. and then reverted back to these sapphire and emerald shattered eyes.
So Masheni did see all that.
And
she did.
just to paint a picture as to you, you know how often irises look like the wood grain is centered on the pupil, where all of the grain is always headed towards the pupil in that kind of radial pattern.
Right.
These appear to be more of a subtly also shaped towards the pupil, but still shattered gemstone glass type of irises, where the lines between colors of irises, like the valleys and canyons and peaks, are actually more of a shattered like stone glass.
Kind of like that
type of
broken,
thing.
like.
But
Yeah, kind of a broken, still kind of also angled towards the pupil, but not as uniform as wood grain, more like shattered stone.
importantly, though,
gemstone.
the current Masha has these eyes.
Yeah.
As far as
2
if,
weeks ago.
like,
2 weeks
understanding as far as Masheni understands, yes, the current Masha has both of these eyes.
Yeah. So my sister saw that a couple weeks ago. Saw that she had these same
If I
eyes.
remember correctly, once she assumed this could absolutely be Mandela effect, but once she assumed the depiction of Tamrin's eyes that appeared to show strain on those, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure if I did.
I don't remember that, but
Then never mind. Don't worry.
so it's possible that it's still here. I'm
That-
sorry I interrupted, but I just wanted to share
That-
that.
that
Yeah,
makes
you dropped that
me-
information because of your connection with Machete. That's so fucking cool. And I have to keep the
that's-
campaigns on the same date, or I'm gonna absolutely lose my
That's-
fucking
that's-
mind.
You and me both.
Wait, I have an idea, given what you said.
Yeah.
So we have these two eyes, very powerful, can't fall into Misha's hands, whoever this person
Masha.
is, right? Masha.
Nope.
So
It's a running joke.
Yes.
I love it.
Knuckle can never get names right. That's
so
perfectly
what
on
if
brand.
we give them to somebody that has very much power that you guys know specifically? I mean,
We don't
does
trust
she have
anyone.
sockets under shades? Can we put them in her head and have her protect? I mean, if you can just plug them in and plug them out.
But who among
Scoop 'em
you
out,
is understands what a paradox is?
I feel like I've kind of lived one for a while.
I love that. So fucking canon. Yes, you do. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this guy's not an idiot either. This one
Yeah.
actually
Probably-
has intelligence.
yeah,
So
the best one to probably. I
Yeah.
love that.
But if we give them to her, she has the means to protect them from this Misha person.
you had it right the first time.
Masha?
Yes.
Okay, so
We.
and then you can cover them with the blindfold, but
This is
But-
a great idea. It's much more complicated.
But again,
Yes.
the paradox, as you understand, these are here, and yet she still
there.
has them now.
Or she
So if we destroy
This
them
means-
now, does that mean they won't?
No.
She won't have them.
Well,
we just can't let the current ones in touch with the ones that we have.
unless
If they're in-
she gets them in the future, and then she takes them back to the past.
well,
If the same
But we don't
things
know the
exist
timeline.
in the same time, in the same space, that's a paradox. And that could be very, very, very bad.
this is,
Unless the time says that they are supposed to exist in the same place in the same time.
but
Because that is the
What?
way that causality has sanctioned
we're
it.
all assuming that we're
Very
all
good
from the
point.
same
Shoshani,
spot.
you understand what Thraz is saying. That's
Yeah.
a very good point. There's technically an infinite amount of an object, person, place, thing could exist in a timeline as long as somewhere along the infinitesimal length of time it becomes resolved. So it doesn't have to be resolved within your understanding. There could be 30 eyes out there just because of how time
Yeah.
and things, space.
but the
Plus, it
only
might
thing
not
that we
be
can
from our
fix
dimension.
or do anything about is just now and it's just easy to give her the eyes now.
But can she avoid detection the
No.
way that they are in there? The
See,
scary lady worries me.
The,
But is she that powerful that she can
at,
avoid
her,
that
at
detection?
her core,
No.
she's not a nice person. She's just been taught the wrong things.
She's
See, you look down, you see her eating a kebab.
Oh, I didn't know she could hear us.
She's not. She's just eating
Oh.
a kebab.
She can.
You can hear her.
she's not the same as Lady Masha, and I will put it at that, and we will leave it
For
at that.
now. Everyone is corruptible.
Oh no, I meant more like she is not the
But
same
who's to
powerful
say-
But
level.
she doesn't.
Who's
She
to say by
also
giving shade to these eyeballs, you are giving them to Lady Masha?
Well,
wait. No, if
she
she's supposed to kill mages, right? I mean, that's what she does.
Yes.
Except
is she detectable? Can they find her with magic?
she works
She
for
has something
the
right now
same
to
organization
Disable that.
that
I-
Lady Masha is in charge of.
I thought
cannot
she-
be detected. At
She
the moment.
defected,
The
Right.
Bokennen Rai
but that is not to
work
say that she
for
might not
the-
go back.
Right.
Yeah.
But
But she defected.
it seems like she has made up her mind. I mean, actually
What
made
level?
up.
She still is in love with one of them. That doesn't mean that she couldn't be corrupted. She
Yeah.
couldn't be coerced.
Back into the fold.
So
See,
same with anybody else you give the eyeballs to, right?
Correct.
the
we
gaining
destroy
with the loss of a home
Which,
can
but
be
then how
devastating
many
to
are
the
you
psyche.
going to be hunting to try to destroy?
Which is
I-
why
you
I
need
I
to find the
understand that.
beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Um,
don't have that
the
power. All I
temptation-
know is
temptation
what I can do
always
with what I have
act.
here.
But you were friends with her once.
I was.
Do you think you could get through to her in any way?
We need to talk to
I
Vlad.
can try.
Yeah. We need to understand what he's going to do with them. You know.
It was part of our agreement. We gave our word. We need to talk to him.
I do like her better than him.
These objects, I understand. One is yours, one is hers.
I mean, I'm already wary you're talking around you with knowing if he could actually hear through you.
Well, we could.
There's a lot of things I can hear through him.
The option is always to just run.
There's-
You know that, correct?
There's not any running from
Where
these people.
would you run to?
They hold the entire world, and apparently time and space too in their grasp. You can't run from these people, unless you can. I mean, you feel a little different. I don't know. It's
He's
weird.
slippery, remember?
Yeah, but like extra. It's weird.
The rainbow path leads everywhere, because Thraz doesn't know what it's actually called, so he doesn't call it the continuum. He calls it the rainbow path. The rainbow path leads everywhere.
There might be another option. If we go back to the bacon thing, if you overheat bacon, you know how it like splatters all of its grease?
Yeah.
So if that's sort of like what the bubble thing was that we saw in the portal.
No, you cannot overheat me.
I can try.
I was just about to say.
Like, not in Thraz hears it and he just literally goes to, no, you are not allowed to set me on fire.
No. Why?
Internet,
Would
do
it-
your worst.
Would it make it harder for her to find things if we put the guy back together,
Yeah.
he pops, which makes another
If
thing,
we're not
and then
next
throw
to
the
one,
eye.
Where is it gonna pop?
What if it pops and we hop in?
No,
and
I'm
we
just saying
follow
throw
it
the
to-
eyes in.
Why? So someone else can grab them?
They may come out where she is. I mean, if you are fine with her having these things, it is totally okay. But it sounds like you do not want her to have these eyes.
I
The
don't think
current her has them.
Correct.
she does.
It doesn't mean she'll always have them, and it doesn't mean that these aren't important. It might.
Unless,
it might not. I don't
unless
know. None
she
of these
meets a
things.
future version of herself and gives them to him and sends her back in time.
So,
It's
but you said you scooped one out of her eye. Where's that one?
Yeah.
If I know my companion, like gestures to Bast's pieces, it's one of those.
Okay. Well, seems like we have more questions.
We got a
than we have
guy who
answers.
can ask questions.
I know how to ask a question, yes.
If you ask these questions, can you still bring him back to life, do you think?
That's a good question. It's not one I have an answer to. Have we asked someone and then brought them back to life yet?
No.
No, we usually kill him first and then ask him.
Logically,
Is that what's normally gone? So far?
logically, if they are dead and you ask them the questions and then you make
Until
them not dead,
that kills the tie of their soul to that body that I actually used to tether to pull it back in.
I'm
Because
not
you
that
can only
mean.
ask them one time.
I'm not that mean.
My
you want to speak with
companion-
dead and then
So-
revive? That's
well, you need to have a
Thank
talk
you.
with your god then. If he
By
is
My god, I
only
don't have a
allowing
god.
them.
By
He
the
has his own
spells.
god, that's okay.
By
He
the
is a
He
spells
god.
talks with
description.
himself.
I am a god.
I love that. I have no god. He's something else, and he is a god. I love that. Just 3 different descriptions of what Argus is.
By the spell's description, it doesn't pull the creature's soul back into its body, just an animating spirit with the corpse's knowledge.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
what I said.
I like your explanation though.
I mean,
Okay, but before I ask, we gotta know what questions we're
We're
asking.
also
when do
up
we do
against the
things that
clock
way?
because he has very few minutes left in the Sky Lounge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we should.
We're getting close.
Well, I just said we fucked it up a couple times before we were there. I fucked it up a couple times.
Well, what?
We were all there together, damn it.
You have 300 seconds. You have 5 minutes.
After we ask these
have
questions,
no
let's
idea what
go
you are
back up,
talking
yeah? And
Okay.
split who holds the eyes. I think that regardless if she's able to track it or not, we need to
Oscar,
get
is there a
people back.
question that you would like to ask Bass?
There's a lot of questions I'd like to ask.
Okay,
Baz,
well,
but
You get 5. No, you get 3. We get 2. No, you get 1. We get 4.
is there
Yeah.
a reason we can't just wait and revive him tomorrow? Are
Well,
these
you
questions?
can get answers now to 5 questions and then revive him tomorrow if it works. So really,
Do
these
you want
questions will
to-
give us a real the only real answer that we're going
They,
to
they,
keep.
they apparently have to go back to this Vlad person. They said, and do you
It's
want,
his daddy.
do you want those questions? Do you want knowledge before they go back or after they go back?
Before, I don't know how, since we were separated, he came to be in this state.
That might be the.
He got
question for
separated
when
too,
he's-
apparently.
But is
Unfortunately,
but
yeah.
is that the pressing question at this moment? That question could potentially wait for tomorrow.
He didn't have both eyes when I last left him.
Okay, and Log, don't just ask him if he has how he got both eyes, because that's
Who
not
didn't have
descriptive
both
enough.
eyes?
Fast.
This is why we gotta know this shit
Masha came
beforehand.
through. I scooped out one of them because she only had one.
Her eyes.
Yeah.
I
His
had
eyes.
one. They
Oh,
gave me
you
the
didn't
other.
have both
Yeah.
of her.
How did Bast end up in the sarcophagus with both eyes?
No, no,
He only had one.
It's because of what he experienced.
Right.
Separate from you.
But Oscar
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
know that.
I don't know.
I'm
that.
sorry. I thought you went. He had both. He still had his own.
Yes,
eyes.
yes.
Right, and
Yeah, that's why I told Log he can't ask him.
and I'm more
how he
making
got his
and I'm
eyes.
trying to
English
make the
language
point with
sucks.
Oscar that the question, some of the questions that he wants to ask
Okay.
Bass are not as could wait until the next day, as opposed to the 5 right now if we wanted to do.
2
that.
minutes.
We got to get moving. We don't have enough time. How long does your spell take and all that?
I mean, I could just fucking do it, and then we just gotta ask the
Then we gotta wait
questions.
for response and you articulating questions.
That's why I said we need to know the questions
In
beforehand.
that amount of time, we need to get moving.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
let
If you want me to
their
just ask random
conversation-
questions, I'll just ask random questions. So,
No.
A good one is the sky blue. That's how you know if they're lying or not.
is the
Why?
what?
'Cause
What?
The
Sky's not always blue.
sky is actually technically not blue.
While this conversation isn't going anywhere, and I know that the bubble is gonna pop a little bit in a little bit for the thing, I'm gonna hop down to Shade and simply ask her, "Do you know why you and what do you and Vlad plan to do with the eyes? Do you? Is it?
I
the s-
don't know what he plans to do with them, but I plan to use it to enhance my abilities of arcanic negation, to make sure that I'm safe, and that should I need it, I can use it to make sure that me and mine are safe. Or
And-
whatever assault I may plan goes off better than I planned.
So
I don't know what Vlad has for it, and I don't ask questions because it's part of our agreement. That's why we work together.
Wouldn't it be better if you could work together and ask questions?
Yes, we do share information. Of course we do. But as is the nature of the conclave, should one of us become not autonomous, as I have experienced firsthand, the compartmentalization of information would serve as a benefit rather than the full openness and transparency of information. Whatever I know could be used against whatever resistance that we, or whatever they know, and use whatever resistance that we compile.
If you say so.
I
just
have
know
been in the depths of these bowels of this conclave, and they have ways of making sure that everything that I know, they know.
Is that still the case?
No, that's why I'm here. Because I wasn't okay with that.
No,
And-
what I mean, did you sever that tie?
They have to capture me first.
No, I mean, did you sever the tie? Did you stop them?
The tie is an immediate vicinity one.
We start
Whatever
climbing
tie
now.
they may have, I don't remember. The mind is foggy. But if I stay away from them, I can keep my autonomy. I can hide myself. I can
What-
hide you.
What if we could go one step further?
How so?
Are you gonna let your god in her head?
That's exactly what I'm thinking. So Argus, Doctor, had a space in my
Doctor
head.
birthed all of us.
Right. He had a space in my mind that he lived, part of him lived in, kind of like, putting your hand in water, and I was the water.
Yes, he inoculates all of his experiments with his own DNA to make sure that he has a kill switch should ever he need it.
And you still have yours?
It is part of my being. It's not something I can get rid of.
I don't think that's the case. Argus, he's a baby god. Still working on things. Was able to.
He's a god of babies.
No. Young.
He's the god of the young.
Let's go with that for now. And he worked with me to allow him to come into my mind and burn out Doctor. I don't have that kill switch anymore.
But I still feel you.
Right. But I no longer feel Doctor.
If I can give you and yours a safe place to have a respite for this eve, would your companion be willing to extend me the same courtesy?
Possibly. I don't know, because you're a different make than I am, but I can assist.
I am a woman of action. Do we head back to our co-conspirative lad, or do we rest here?
Well, sure as hell aren't resting.
Let me know now.
I'll go ask.
We already
climb-
climbed. We're climbing down.
Oh,
We're all
I-
coming out.
Yeah.
Because we don't want it to.
So, I have another idea. I will kind of like pull you aside real quick. I have a way that maybe you can trade for the eye.
Okay.
You know that thing that you did for me?
Yeah.
She
Are they
has a
together?
doctor in her. She has doctor in a room of
together?
her own.
Yeah, but I don't know how I got into the
thing.
ethereal realm, and then you were in the ethereal realm, and then we kind of mushed.
But I do.
You know how to get there?
I think
But
so.
does she know how to get there?
No, I think I can go there. I think I know how you.
I can fight him again. He's probably going to be stronger than last time, especially in her. You weren't really high on what he cared about.
Which was why I was able to do it. I think what we need to do is get into a safe place, and then you punch me.
Punch you?
I can
I'm
punch you.
not gonna.
If you punch me, and I go elsewhere,
Then how do I get elsewhere? I don't know how I got there.
I pulled you.
Are we staying or going?
I think we should
We need to
probably
go.
Yeah, we can head out. Thank you for your
Are
patience.
you resting?
We already rested.
We just-
Or are we?
We're gonna walk. We're gonna get
We're
out of
gonna
here.
walk. I'm still gonna argue with him.
The door's still whole.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think
more
we need to
banging.
get back to Vlad.
Yeah, agreed.
There's
At the
banging.
very least, we know how to get
How
back
urgent
up.
is our return?
He didn't expect us back immediately, so
We can walk, or I can get us there now.
It would be better for the bird.
You have an option.
thing.
I have enough power to let us rest here for the evening in complete safety, or get us back there now.
The first one.
Or we
please.
can walk.
What avoids that big fucking wing thing?
the dark
I
room.
believe I've already made explicitly clear what our options are.
What is that? I'm just saying, whatever avoids
Mr.
that
Oscar,
fucking
you
thing.
want to stay here? You want to rest first?
Let's
this close to the whale
let's
wall?
rest with her.
Okay, can we maybe move like 100 feet down the tunnel at least or something? Are
Sure.
you guys good
Fine.
with that? And then we do that. And
You don't.
A less obvious location.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I mean,
I don't care.
Why would you?
If we have to rest to have an attempt to revive my companion before we have to make a decision about these eyes, that's what I would like to do. Yes.
Okay.
Rest.
Yeah.
Rest.
Gives us more time to think. So yeah.
Happens.
All right. What did you have in mind?
I can open a rift to my dreary domicile.
Oh, it can't be that dreary.
That's how we get in.
That's not to her head.
No, it's to a
It's
dimension
to-
of my own making.
Which is the same as yours and mine.
No, not quite.
It is not into my mind. It's a physical space, but separate from now.
It's like what I just did with the Sky Lounge, but probably way better, I'm
Much
sure.
longer and much larger.
That's what she said.
Literally.
You're not incorrect.
Okay.
That's a story for
and it can
my personal. Never mind.
house us for an evening.
Many hours.
Okay.
Right.
How many of you have those non-detection necklaces that Vlad had? given?
Just you, right?
Just him. We couldn't make one because we
Just
couldn't get high
Zemdak?
enough.
Okay.
Or hot enough. We
Yeah. We need
Same difference, man.
like dragon
Matt
fire,
knows
like
that's the whole idea, but
Blood of the Mountain.
blood of the mountain. That's what I was looking for. Yeah.
or enough arcane, enough red arcane.
For Argus to go supernova.
yeah, you went because you.
Oh, I was thinking him.
Which turned you.
I mean, if he's already fire,
and sent
like
you
making him more
to your
fire,
realm.
you're gonna give us the most.
I've only got orange
And
and
I
black.
was in my realm.
got shut out.
Something we may have to work towards.
And I don't know what either of those do.
So you move down away from the away from the room where is the dais, until you move down one of the corridors that is Sandlin, and she digs her scythe into space, tears a rift open, and walks through and says, "Welcome."
Which resulted in some triggering.
You guys walk through.
Yes.
Yeah.
You all walk through, and you see does not go up in floors, but just spreads out in one floor. of just an immense amount of labyrinthine rooms, which is no doubt she has memorized entirely. It feels like a copy of the Conclave prisons, probably, but just a tad bit nicer. Each of the cells appear to have creature comforts, but this is what she envisions when she envisions comfort.
That's super depressing.
Yeah. She did call it a dreary domicile, though, so makes sense.
But it appears to go out infinitely in all directions. But you also, those of you who know, even have the slightest inkling as to how magic works, this is her spell. Should she desire to know where you are within her domain, she will know where you are. And she knows this by heart. You can easily find almost anything it is you like from here.
Is there a pink room?
Is there what?
A pink room.
Pink room?
For
There is a room that is
Tiffany.
lighted with more pink, yes.
Okay.
It is also has about 3 different vanities, a bed with a mirror attached to its ceiling.
Yep, that tracks.
is there
Wow,
the
that
remnants
went
of
weird.
several bards in there?
You didn't either.
What?
Is there the remnants of several bards in there?
There are no remnants of any dead bodies here.
Well, other than the one we brought with us.
But just for the sake of time, for the sake of time,
There's so
When we
many.
enter this portal to her space, do we enter directly to the building? Or is there like a courtyard?
it's very similar to the Conclave prison. Feels like a
so
prison.
it's right inside.
Feels like
of
a
the
prison, but every cell appears to have creature comforts.
Okay.
More like a terrarium.
Menagerie.
Once we get into that space, do I need a torch to see in here?
No.
Okay. I didn't think so. Just thought I'd ask.
Everything is well lit.
I'm going to actually extend my mind again, if you will, and I'm going to go look for the doctor's room.
Okay. Roll a Constitution saving. I'm sorry. Roll an Intelligence saving throw.
Jeez. 17.
17. You reach out as you feel like you astral project, and you pass through corridors and side corridors and cells and bars and all these other paintings and whatever as you move through a bunch of massively infinite hallways before you are halted at this one space that you feel this almost magnetism. You try to push through and you're unable to push through. Very similar to how a memory that's been closed off for the own psyche's protection, you try to pierce through and continue to push through like a semi-permeable membrane. You are unable to penetrate this memory of
All right.
whatever this may be. If this is even a simulacrum of what her mind may be, which is very far from possibly what is the possibility. However, there's one image that flashes in your mind, and that is of a Ibcast-looking, a feminine individual sprawled across the floor in what looks like maternity dress, her abdomen open, splayed open, umbilical cords and other types of viscera connected to her, to a infant in her hands as she hums the same tune that you're familiar to. But in place of her legs, there are veins, large cylinders of corpulent musculature and viscera and body horror type connections that line into almost cyberpunkish, begin to elide into tech, that elide into pumps, that elide into tanks, as she appears to be suspended by some sort of Doc Ock type arms and then repositioned and put back into a tank as the the individual in the infant is snipped from her opum ovum. And she stands suspended in there again as the ovum begins to close.
So I take my sacred axe that my god Argus has given me.
Sure.
And my battle axe, yeah. And envision, like in my mind, the axe head being in flames, and I swing it at that.
This is a vision. You are not present in the vision.
Right, I'm in the hallway with this door that I can't seem to go
Yes,
through.
absolutely.
So I'm going to smash the sacred axe of Argus into this wall or into this blockage, and
Sure.
try to cut my way through.
Roll an attack roll plus your wisdom modifier.
Oh. I wish I had inspiration. Wisdom modifier? Oh, that's still a 13. I have a +5, so.
13, you hit into it and you go against the grain and then you go with the grain and you just feel like barely. You're human. You've been alive for, well, who knows what you are. But you've been alive for who knows how long, but you sense that the amount of time that Shade has been with this world has perhaps been longer, and whatever barrier she may have built has been perhaps much, much stronger. You had a glimpse of what is beyond the door, but the door rebuffs you, pushes you back between corridors, hallways, passes through you miles and miles of labyrinthine way as it continues to rebuff you. The individual, the face, the song, so similar. But the grotesque nature of the birth, disturbing. But you are there, and you all find yourselves exhausted. There are many cells and housings as to which you may find rest. Shade exits her own mind to stand guard at the entrance of it. A master of her own domain, and knowing what is to come. Should you dig too deep? Yeah.
I need your help.
So,
Okay.
knowing what happened with Bondant Belias, when I tried to enter his dream, knowing that, okay, this was a dead person, but I was still able to enter their dream.
Mm-hmm.
Once we're in there, since I've had a short rest, I got my spell shit back. I'm going to try to enter the dream of this dead fish fucker.
The dead fish fucker is dead and is not dreaming.
But from what I know, I was, so I'm still going to attempt. I was able to enter dead Belias's dream. So I'm going to attempt.
I'm going to save you some time. This is a object, no longer a creature. It is no longer dreaming. You can open your mind to such a thing, but doesn't feel like there's a platform for you to grab onto.
That's fine. It's because I was able to do it to dead Belias.
Yes.
I'm going to.
Yes, and that was
So-
like because you were in that chamber and there was like these weird circumstances. The coin was on its side at the moment. Things have appeared to find a little bit more of a balance now. Now that they appear to be in a little bit more of a conventional space. So
I would have attempted.
you attempt
I
to.
attempted.
You don't like for as far as you know, this thing is dead. It is not dreaming.
As far as Log knows, there's like,
Oh, that doesn't fucking make sense.
so.
The
Between 5 and 6 lines.
so to save time, I want to
Dead body's an object.
Dead body is a corpse and is an object. It has been
start
been
mending him.
gentle repose. As far as time is, I do want to fast forward anything. You guys will get a long rest here. I think that you guys continue to talk and talk and talk and talk until you fall asleep, and you wake the next day. What's up?
Spend a few minutes casting mending
Because it's an object.
On the
on the
two
dead
halves.
body.
It's an object.
Mending is
put it
not
back
for
together.
organic material.
It's an object.
You can mend like a piece of cloth. That's organic.
I will say that, given with the help of Macheni's knowledge through Trisheni. With
So
the help
that
of
was right.
Macheni's
So
knowledge
close.
through Trisheni, because she
Trishani,
is
She's not linked.
because she is an Anima Jinn.
But
She's
I'm
not
not
linked
linked
today.
right now, so it'd be more of like just.
Yeah,
what do
but
I
it was
call?
the echo of the knowledge because of like I would say with her help, you would be able to stitch the
Yeah.
body back to it being at the very least
Okay.
an idea of it. I don't want to waste time on this. Okay, I want to move forward.
I mean, yeah, we could.
As
we could
far
probably
as the
spend
body
next,
is
like, 6
concerned,
hours
you can
just-
make it together
One
in
person.
one
One
piece.
piece.
Okay.
I don't want to waste time on what it is you guys do before it. You understood what happened with the dreams. You get the information. You wake up the next day. It is now the second, third of Akia?
16th of Akia.
16th of Jesus.
Yep.
The 16th
That's
of
why.
Akiel, you guys can all receive a long rest.
Yay.
I want you now to continue the information that you talked about before.
One quick question.
You have a couple hours in this mansion because, or in this domicile, because you're understanding that Shade's magic is supremely powerful and can last longer than perhaps some spells require it to. Go ahead.
Just because I don't know the time, like month numbering system, I left in some part of Hylock, and now it's not that. How?
Correct.
But Osfer would know what the months are, right? Like how many months ahead? I
You are
guess.
in this date.
Yeah, but how many months is that? I don't know
From
the-
One.
a
month.
1 month?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
about a month.
We were just in Highlock last month for the.
Yeah, I just don't know what the names of all the months and
Well,
whatnot.
no, that's why we're letting
Argus,
you know, we went
I
from
believe you
Highlock
realize
into
that if it's
Akia.
time to do something, now is the
Akia.
time.
All right.
Akia.
I'm gonna prepare Raise Dead
Akia.
and use my higher level spell and my more diamonds.
Okay, who's giving a tribute to this ceremony?
I will. Just give me a second.
Sure.
What is it? 500 gold with the diamonds.
While they do that, I'll go talk to Shade.
Shade appears to have stayed guard, gone into her own sanctuary, rested, and then stayed guard again.
Can I get to where she's staying guard?
Yeah,
It's
absolutely. You can talk to her.
Yeah.
Is this an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw?
It'll most likely be a skill challenge, so an ability check.
Just because I can add my motivator
Yeah,
dice.
you got it.
That's why I was
I'll
asking.
let them know at that time, and then if you want to do a thing, you can do it then.
I'll give one of my hands.
So we're gonna do one at a time. We'll save you for last, Oscar. You want to do a tribute? What would you like to do?
One of my hands.
And what do you want to do with it?
That's metal as fuck.
Here, this will help, right?
Thanks for a hand.
Roll a charisma check for comedy, I guess.
I mean, Log is comic relief.
Yeah.
He's dark comic relief, but
Just plus your charisma.
That's a
modifier.
21.
The hand light twitches
Wait, you've
and
got
just
a nat
shakes
20?
your
Oh,
hand.
no, I got an 18 plus 3.
I know, giving you
Yeah.
shit.
The hand like does thing and goes up to you and he's like, "Yeah." good job,
I
way
give
to
it
go."
the diamonds.
You give it the diamonds and it goes like, and
It's a hand cup that you. put the
It's gonna
diamonds-
hold my diamonds
yeah, it's
for
just
me.
gonna hold. This is stupid.
You're using the hand as an offering.
I hate
plate.
you for making me do this.
So I got to mark off I used a hand now.
Anybody else? Yeah, exactly.
Log, we don't need to know about what you did last night after we fell asleep.
The ashes
I used all the
from the
hands.
cephalomorph skull.
Dice jail.
Dice
The
jail.
ashes from the cephalomorph skull.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna take them and I'm gonna smear them across the scar line from where we stitched him back
Sure.
together, and then I'm gonna put the 2 lodestones on either side of.
To magnetically
The
attach
ash
them.
line.
You got it. Cool.
Oh,
Go ahead and roll a.
And then
I'll say this is a tinkering check involving your intelligence.
Okay.
we should get some salt water, if possible. Some sort of tub or basin, and put him in that and fill it with salt
We're
water.
gonna ask Shade to make you one, unless we can find one.
Still a 19.
Salt. I don't know how
You can easily find.
We have salt. He's got salt.
I got salt.
He's got salt.
We can make some salt water.
It might help. At the very least, it'll help.
If anybody has create water, that would help.
I do.
Yeah.
I haven't prepared my spells today.
Go ahead. What's up? What'd you get?
And Argus a bag of salt.
What'd you get?
Oh, 19.
19. Okay.
Okay.
The
Well,
absolute worst.
There's a lot of,
okay.
paraphernalia here. So you
so
need a
we'll
basin.
put them in a basin, and I'll use create water and fill it.
Salt water.
And we'll
You got
put
it.
salt and.
Cool.
Okay.
You got it.
We'll place them in there.
And what do you do?
I take my silver spear, and I guess the floor is stone. I was thinking like
Yeah.
I break it over my knee and toss the pieces out.
You want to shatter the spear.
Yes.
Put the silver into it.
Yep.
You are aware what silver does to people like you, right?
Yeah, that's why I want to get rid of it. Like,
As like
Symbol-
a sacrifice.
yes.
Like, look at me destroying the thing that harms you.
Yes.
You got it. Nice. Go ahead and roll a. Ooh, what do you?
Wisdom?
Is insight, wisdom?
It is.
Spirituality
I'll say
is usually
an
wisdom.
insight check here.
That's good. Okay. 22.
22. Okay. So someone grab the Tower of Terrazine for me and pass it around here. Bast has died once before?
Yes.
Or twice before?
I think just once.
Just once before. Okay. So we have to beat a 4 here.
Get a help.
And this is raise dead, not revivify. Right?
Correct.
Yeah.
This
That would
is
be a
not
4.
5th level spell.
It was a dramatic moment.
That's a 7. Woo! Whew. Okay. The klaxon of alarms go off for some reason because Argus said, sorry,
Bring
sorry,
out your
sorry."
dad.
First time
Sorry,
casting
wrong
the
side of the
spell.
hammer.
Yes. First time casting the spell. Pass that back to you.
That was the Who bells ringing in Whoville.
You see the stitches begin to be absorbed. A bunch of the salt water gets sucked in and make the body more juicy. Color begins and pallor begins to infuse the body and reinvigorate it
Nice and moist.
as the stitches become to
Past is very
unwind,
moist.
as the flesh and sinew begins to bind. And there is bubbles from the basin until there is a spout and gout of salt water as Bast awakens.
Does he
Yeah, you
still
guys got the
smell
concentration of salt water
Does
correct.
it smell like what?
like the thing he should smell like?
Yes.
Okay.
The death. You cannot escape this curse
Just-
from death. Yeah.
Just curious. Well,
Yeah. You
he
got
may
it.
have escaped it,
It literally
before he died.
states in the
There
raise
was
dead
a lot of
spell.
other
Yeah,
things
yeah,
that
sure.
happened.
So he awakens.
It
Fish
literally says
fucker.
If you don't neutralize it, it would. Yeah, it's-
Talk.
I just kind of like slap Bast's face, like
The fuck, dude?
Sits
Wake
up
up.
out of the tub of water. Osfa,
it's good
found
to
you.
It's good to see you again.
But
What the fuck just happened?
I was hoping. Well, we brought you back to life, but other than that, I was hoping you might tell me.
Any of y'all see like some shaman, like ceremonial folk?
well, okay. Well, let's
We
rewind
killed a
for
few,
you
but-
for a sec. We found you in a sarcophagus, and you attacked us with both halves of your body.
Yeah, technically, normally
You were undead.
dissection is fatal.
So they killed me.
I'm assuming.
I don't know what happened after that. If I
Okay,
attacked y'all,
Who killed you?
I'm sorry. Some shaman fuck and like his little priestesses.
Yeah, that was. They were easy to deal with.
The
But
the bigger question.
You made a deal with someone.
Some prophecy. They told me to climb in the sarcophagus and then
what? You climb in a sarcophagus just for fun?
They made it sound like I was just going to sleep.
Okay, I'm gonna take a
Well-
nap in the sarcophagus.
Well, I mean, technically, you did go to sleep. Just a permanent sleep.
They didn't tell me nothing about the whole being dead thing until I was like too late.
Was this the
told you
person
that?
who you made a certain agreement with? I've seen you before, fish fucker.
I never saw the shaman before he killed me.
No, this was you. You upset someone, and you were like sorry for fucking up, and you were like telling them how sorry you were for fucking shit up.
By the way, you guys owe me 500 gold worth of diamonds.
But no, you made some deal with some shady fucking
Speaking of that
thing.
deal, is are Bast's eyes still all?
Are my eyes the same eyes that I died
Same
with?
eyes.
Okay.
So you made some kind of fucking deal with someone.
I've made a couple of deals in my lifetime. I don't know which particular one you're talking about. If you're asking about the one that I got in trouble for, that would be my patron.
They like a big gooey motherfucker.
They are the deepest depths. They are the darkness at the very roots of the world.
That kind of tracks. Are they a traitor?
They are the seas. They are the oceans. They are
The salty bitch, the salty
Mistress.
mistress.
She might have got me in touch with that man. There was a salty bitch that like sort of drowned me so that I could talk with him.
I love how that's canon now.
I don't know if it's the same one you're talking about though.
It's making too much sense though.
It was supposed to be the great spirit of water.
Wait, they drowned you? Can you drown?
This was no, yes, kinda. This was before I met y'all. This was how I got able to do the things that I could do when we met.
The dream I saw you, something tried to fucking flood my mind, but I flushed it. So I think that's it.
Have you told them about the whole Ica issue?
Yes.
Well,
I've
just-
filled them in on.
Well,
Just a
our-
little bit, but like Icar, but that's not descriptive enough, you know.
The problems of you all folk that live on land are seeping into the water. And that's causing problems from all us who live beneath the waves.
you just need to burn it.
I was told to fix those problems so they were no longer our problems. And I was not doing a good enough job from the one who contracted me.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I got punished. Is that what you're talking about?
I don't know. There was this fucker in my head, and now he's not there anymore. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Then there was someone who was trying to flood my head, but I flushed them down. Now there's some fucking wolf thing in my head, and
Log, take 3d10 damage.
There's a wolf in your head?
is it this, oh, it's the next day. Fuck, it's the next day.
You said,
Damn it.
Even Cody says, "Fuck."
Osfa, you all right?
Point of order.
Cody, take 3d10 damage.
Zemdek has
Well,
slept.
you got to
correct?
roll it.
You
Yeah.
guys
Oh,
all
I
get a
gotta
long
roll it.
rest.
Yep.
Okay.
Zemdak slept.
I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw from the blood.
15. I rolled a 1. Don't worry.
I immediately started doing a prayer of healing where all I'm doing is just cursing out Argus for 10 minutes.
17.
That's what you
17.
get. You messed with me.
Yeah, I didn't.
You have a flash.
You still haven't apologized.
This
for it.
tiniest, smallest flash of memory. You're starting to realize
won't lose
of
the
like
curse.
genetic memory and DNA and hemoglobin and all that stuff. Of what happens when you engage in this type
Yeah.
of blood. You have this tiniest little flash of some cloaked individual who appears very sure of themselves, slotting what looks like an eye into the in carved out, engraved like shelf of an old tomb. As you see a bunch of like tentacles that have a bunch of little things like, and then pull back and retract into this little eye, hidden behind other like silver and some golds, things that you would see someone be buried with, and you see them walk out, and once they approach a stairwell, turn around and slide their finger across the stone in a right angle pattern as a bunch of holes open up in a like overhang type of wall right before you would see. And when you're going down a stairwell, the wall that's before you that you go under, you see a bunch of holes that they shut close and go up. And it seems familiar to you. Like you've seen this sarcophagus is lining this area on either side.
The very first mausoleum?
This looks familiar.
Trellius's mausoleum?
Looks familiar. And where that
And the
eye
eye,
that they pushed through looks
Was
like
it-
where that creature came from.
the gazer. No, that was different. That was a different tomb.
No, that was
the
that.
same
That
tomb.
was that one.
That was. Okay.
Like something that was put there by the conclave to make sure they were watching. An eye very similar to the ones that you were using was put there.
Masha,
And that's
one
the
of
flash of memory that you
one of
get
the
from
gem
things.
eyes.
Yep.
Okay.
Did we pick that up?
You all right?
I am.
It's a circle. It's a circle.
When did you get spat out?
Where are we now?
We're back in our year about a month after we left for that initial that first jump. We're under the maw. I mean, right now we're in someone's mind, but when we come out of that,
What's the maw?
a large desert.
Sandy place.
Yes, it's probably going to be very uncomfortable
So like
for
the
you.
beachfront with no water.
Right.
And even more heat.
Before now, I don't know. I was, like I said, they killed me. So I'm not sure I know how long.
Okay. Well, you just popped out of where Masha threw you out and immediately been sacrificed?
I was in tunnels, rock tunnels with sandy floors, and I followed a group of people. A shaman, ritual dressed man, some people that were following him, and some other lackey that was doing their bidding. Through some gold doors into a room with the coffin.
Did you have the eye with you?
Yeah,
Where did the other one come from?
them. The eye was what opened the door. It seemed like a relic of some sort to them.
Okay.
They told me something about a prophecy about the one who would guard the eyes. And that they believed that guardian to be me.
Well,
Because you're a fish fucker.
the good news is you did until these folks busted you out of that sarcophagus.
They gave me both of them and told me that I would be the guardian and put me in the sarcophagus.
Well, according to them, you came alive and fought them, so seems like they cursed you into
If I hurt
guarding
y'all,
this.
that was not me.
Water under the bridge.
It's fine. He did have some nasty kicks, though. I'm just gonna say. But yeah.
You can take
mean-
a ball, though.
Oscar and I both got some nasty kicks. We learned from some tough fights. It's been a month though.
Give roughly, yeah. Well, since we first left,
And we're not in the cradle.
we're far away.
That's not good.
About half the width of the continent away.
That where your guys' goo is? Is in the cradle?
Yeah,
The whole forest is infected.
it's being corrupted.
Do we have any locations close to there?
Let me check. I was just working on figuring out my spells for today, so let me see. Maybe I can get you guys there. Or close. Or anyway than where you are now.
Is that
Anywhere would be
Greaves
a
over
great
there?
help. Yeah. Yeah, it is. He's called something different, though.
He's fucking Boots. What the fuck are you talking about?
They call him Boots. They don't understand the...
It's the same little gnome dude though that we knew in the future.
Yep.
Little, yes, no, yeah.
Future, we'll see. Doesn't sound like you made it big
Anki.
enough.
Did you save me?
You reaching out? Roll an intelligence saving throw.
Oh, yeah. How is this gonna work? Because he was Anki in the future. I don't. I'm curious.
is where he
Curious to
explodes,
see
right?
if Anki remembers any of us.
14.
14.
It's. I don't know. If
Does
travels
Anki
time.
exist at all times simultaneously?
I
mean,
does Ray's
there's
dad
theories
give
that
me
that's what
any
happens with
penalties?
Vicodins, so-
Okay.
You feel all of these threads converge and all these minds and discordance and dissonance.
Or if we fuck
Of this-
Anki up by coming back in time?
Massive. Something tried to make sense,
-4.
like a robot or a program trying to make sense of a do-while
everything?
loop of a loop of nonsensical logic. All these voices and dissonance.
Woohoo! You've
You
created
do
endless
take
feedback loops.
6 points of psychic damage
Okay.
as you reach out. The way you understand mycelial networks is limited, but there is something. Whatever Anki or Ankiline is going through right now may take some time.
Okay.
Meaning that the service, the network,
The network's down.
may be offline
Undergoing some maintenance.
until further notice.
It's like trying to access.
That means the
website.
whole
Exotic material has been introduced into the network.
the whole network's down.
The whole network is down.
Fuck. That's not good. Okay.
We built this network. We can take it down.
I brought you into this world. I can take you out.
-4 to everything, like across the board.
That's what the raised dead spell is.
Okay.
It's -4 to all attack rolls, saving throws, and ability.
Bro, for real?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Well,
I mean, it's
but-
But there's
not
no
exhaustion.
exhaustion.
Anyways,
Yeah, but can you gain those back?
Yeah, every long rest, it goes down
Oh,
by
okay.
one.
Oh, okay.
So, looking at what I have in my notes, at least the furthest east I can get you is Tule. The other option is maybe the capital of the Protectorate. So, I don't know if it's not
Sorry,
close enough, but.
Geography is not my strong suit.
So, I pull out the map. So, it's here. You want to get over here.
Do we have? Yeah, I was gonna say, can you
Yeah.
pass the
Lay
map
all the way over here.
Fuck.
You're in the maw.
Fuck.
We're,
The Shaling Cradle's down.
Nothing
Yeah.
south. No.
I don't think I have even anything for
what's the
Solis.
gnome? Yeah, I was
Like,
gonna say, the-
So
You
this
have
would be
the only
closer.
reason why you have Tule is because of Cole.
I have Tule because of the book that I got from Steer Craig. That's
I
why.
don't remember, but I trust
We
you.
we
Do
yeah
you
we
have
bought a.
anything
the-
perhaps
There's
Well,
so
that
much.
is
Magical
the
guy.
located, like the capital.
Yeah.
I can get
Yeah.
you to the capital of the Protectorate. It's in the middle there.
You guys,
flip that
speaking of
button.
which, you guys know the name of the capital now. Like it has been spread during your downtime while you were in Fort Yeda. The name of the capital is the name change ceremony is finished. The name of the capital is called Strita. So the capital of the Protectorate is called now Strita.
Can you please spell that for those?
Strita. Strita.
STR.
Strita.
Formerly known as.
Formerly known as the capital of the Protectorate
Okay.
for reasons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you are
Just want
somewhere
to make
in
sure
here
we're talking about the same thing.
in the Maw, probably in the southern section.
The capital might work.
Okay.
How
You know how to get out of there?
out of the capital?
Yeah.
I've been through. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Paul's been through. Yep.
I know it's not as close as you
Well,
want, but
The only other place that might be of aid is Takona, or the Watanate Temple. If you can get us near there.
I mean, it's not too far out from.
The Watanate Temple and the temples and the surrounding areas have made it a point of which you are very well aware not to have any arcane transportation anywhere near them for miles for security and historical reasons.
Yeah, but just
The
closer
closest,
that way. 'Cause
the
it's
closest
several-
transportation circle to
might
Takona
just
and
be
the
the capital.
Watanate would be the capital.
Okay, cool. Then,
Yeah.
then that works.
Okay, as long as you want to go there, I know a couple other places on the eastern side of the continent, but if you want to go that way, that's totally cool.
I mean, closer to the cradle, perhaps. Maybe we can stop at the temple and seek knowledge there.
Yeah, there might be another mage who can get you a little closer too. Who knows?
Okay.
We need your folk anyway.
Yeah.
To do what we need.
They need to
do.
know.
I owe you all for bringing me back. I can't thank you enough. I apologize again if I caused you any harm yesterday. You know me? Is that what I'm gathering here? You've seen me before.
Yeah, talking to your fucking patron, as you call him.
The one who gave me my powers.
Who I think, I don't know, my shit's kind of fucked up right now. But there was once a time.
Kasiksi? Here?
No. I lost Kasiksi.
When he died the first time.
Do you have your...
Yeah.
Yes, Tumon?
Okay.
Well, I don't know. Would Tumon have survived the mummification?
If you want Tumon to be here, Tumon will be here.
I think also Kasiksi noped out when
When
Bass died.
Yeah. When I died the first time, he left me. Tumon Jr., when they rehydrated me, he probably would have.
It's like all the warlocks keep changing patrons or something.
When they rehydrated me in the pool, Tumon Jr. probably would have rehydrated.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Is it
If you want Tumon Jr. to be here, they can be here.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Is it like getting your student loans bought out by another company? Is that what's happening here?
Only if there's forgiveness.
So yeah, so
Bass
we only do
died,
forgiveness in this
Bass
campaign.
died, and his patron sold his loan to somebody else.
No, we don't do end stage capitalism where you'll never be able to afford a livable wage because capitalism and corporations decide to.
I met a creepy old lady
I've met a few. Yeah.
when I was first starting to explore the world. She got me in touch with a voice in the darkness
That sounds familiar.
that asked me to do a job. In return, I would get some power from them.
Kill the traitor.
No.
Oh.
Cleanse the land.
Can you roll a wisdom saving throw for me, Bast?
At -4. Oh no.
Yeah,
Don't-
-4.
But don't you get a buff from your own
saving
aura?
throws and ability checks
And attack rolls.
and attack
Yeah,
rolls.
it's essentially you don't get to do anything until you rest.
He
It's
was
still
dead.
still 13.
A 13.
Well, in this one, he was.
When they say that
Yeah.
word, the traitor, you feel this you ever inhale and you feel like the lining of your lung is caught on your rib cage, or that sharp pain of where you've taken a too deep breath and it feels like that sharp pain. Nobody really, nobody. Jeez,
I
should
told
get
you
that
you need to
looked-
get.
You
I
should get
told
that
you.
looked at.
nobody else has felt that at all.
TJ, I know your pain. I
Come
drew.
on. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Suck
So
up.
there's
Alright.
a sharp pain where you're you breathe in to be to respond. You're there's something that's
It's just
This
gas.
is a magic word.
Okay.
Appears to be holding you back when they say that.
That would make sense that it's just gas.
After I failed, it was no longer just a contract anymore. I dedicated myself to the water.
I'm going to brace myself.
Raise?
Oh,
Brace.
Don't you say that word.
I'm going to brace myself. I'm going to say it.
Guess.
Does the name.
And I really
Oh,
brace
you're
hard.
gonna say.
I'm outside with shade, just so you know.
Yeah, you got it.
Yitzglottal
Finish the sentence.
mean anything to you?
What happens?
Answer the question first.
Not that I know of.
Okay. I want both of you to roll wisdom saving throws. Who else is here?
I was gonna pop a no gods, no kings.
You're gonna pop a no gods, no kings? For everybody then.
Yeah, it's a radius.
Yo!
I said, don't you say that word. And then
That's done. Then the only people that have to roll this then.
Sorry, I'm out of loop. What's happening here?
I use my divine intervention, or my.
So he's an
channel
apostate,
divinity.
so he's an anti-religious cleric.
Okay.
And so whenever he pops his like channel divinity,
It's called
it
No Gods, No
stops
Kings.
religion. It stops. It stops.
It's an anti-religion
It's an
bubble.
anti-religion
Oh,
That's
divine.
why,
Yeah.
if you were paying attention, Greaves told you that. Oh yeah, there was no gods, no kings, and that's why there was no gods going on.
He did say that
Yeah.
in the future,
Yep.
didn't he?
I'm going to use the brain brooch
Okay.
So
because
that
I rolled
answers that
shit. So
question,
I'm going to
how
use the
fuck
brain
that
brooch.
happened.
To,
Yeah.
That's right, because you get intelligence and wisdom.
Like a spirit bomb supernova canceled out all the gods.
Much
God.
better.
That's
We'll see what I end up doing.
That's fucking awesome.
Okay.
Legit.
23.
23.
I've already crossed
12.
the veil. once.
12. Okay, so Log, you feel that. Remember when Cole knocked on the door in your mind and you felt them go into a place where you couldn't follow them and you felt them shunted back into your mind and back and forth and there was this type of feeling? You feel yourself, that sensation of being shunted back into your, from your living conscious physical being, shunted back into your, without your consent, into your psychic
Your back
dreams-
brain.
your dreamscape, into your dreamscape. You feel yourself shoved into your dreamscape, but in a place where your dreamscape, where you don't have as much control, because you remember you holding the walls and all that knocking, and you feel that knocking within you as you kind of have that tunnel vision. You begin to fade out, and everything goes out of focus. Before you dig your claws into the darkness of the abyss that is your existence, and you claw your way back through the light that is the tunnel, before you pull your way through, Bast, you feel like you're drowning. Which to you is, I think you've only experienced this
I've
once
experienced it.
before,
Yeah.
but it's still like an extremely odd experience for
Yep.
you.
When
You
it
feel like
happens,
you're
it
drowning as everything again goes into tunnel vision.
Should be very traumatic.
Far out, like seeing the tiny little light at the end of the tunnel.
It's usually when my patron's mad.
You see Bast like begin to fall out and move as though they're in water with that kind of near zero G. But you also see Bast's form begin to shudder and siphon like into space,
Oh, like he's like being like.
Is there liquid? Like, is it? Do we
like
see
being
water?
sucked into a spaghetti strand into a black hole.
Getting spaghettified.
I'll grab his like foot and like try to drag him, pull him the other way.
Both of you have about one line of speech before you are shunted to parts unknown. What do you say?
Oh shit.
Wait, you mean us two?
If you're grabbing onto him,
Yeah, I mean, is he being pulled?
you feel like sucked into the fabric of space, like a drain, like water being sucked into a drain, but you can't see the other end of it.
Well, if we're gonna do this, you're gonna need
Cast
some back.
destroy water.
What do you say out loud for everybody?
Too bad it's theatrical.
Yeah. Is he like? I guess I still don't grok why.
Why
he's
don't you
being
go first?
Pulled away.
I don't think either of you really understand why you pulled away. Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering maybe this is like a warlock thing that I just don't.
I
know
think
about.
you instinctively just grab him, being
Yeah.
like, "No, Bash!"
Yeah,
and you just get
not again.
yeah. God damn. Yeah.
Fucking
Don't
stay
you
put.
quit on me now.
Stay put.
I want to ask Bass this one question before you answer. If this was one of your last moments, what's your last thought? And then what do you say?
Can this happen in my No Gods, No Kings bubble? Okay.
This is something that,
It's not
your No
mine.
Gods, No Kings affects the physical world. This is something that is happening in their minds that's being imposed upon their physical form from the outside, from the inside out.
So there's not
Your
anything
effects
actually there.
outside in. You know, does that make a little
Yep,
bit more
yep.
sense? Yeah. Which is why nobody else is affected.
Sudden doubt.
If you didn't do that, everybody could have been submitted to this thing.
Thank you.
So that's why we don't say those words. Okay.
That's why I braced myself before.
This is why I told
I'll say this: you have two things to say. You can one answer his question about Yitzgaladl, but I believe you already did.
I said,
didn't you?
not
don't
that I know
anything.
of. I've never heard that.
Well, you're about to.
Water cleanses all things.
As he gets sucked into space.
The great storm wipes the slate clean.
Water cleanses all things as their lower body begins sucked in and it stops where they were attached and they were stitched together, and you see them claw onto you and grab onto the fabric of reality as you see their fingers dig into space itself as light begins to bend as they dig into their hands into the fabric of space itself. And then they say the second part of it, which was
The great storm wipes the slate clean.
the great storm wipes the slate clean as they
Can
pulled through.
Can I try to do some shenanigans?
Is it a reaction?
No.
Tell me what it is,
Could I?
but be quick about it.
I know. Could I do magnified gravity? And it can be a higher spell slot than its normal thing, basically to hold that part of his
If you
body.
want to
in-
give
in
them
s-
more time, yes. But this is something that's far stronger than whatever that your highest capable
This-
of like spells.
Reached into the demi-plane that we're in.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. it's- no bueno.
This is something that is constant across all dimensions.
I'll still just dump at least a second level. Just
Yeah,
to try
you
to
can do
hold
it. You
a
can
little
give them
bit
more
longer.
time.
give 'em-
I will say that if you want, you get 3 lines and you get an extra line if you like.
Mine was going to be more in action. Feeling Oscar
You can do that.
grab my ankle, my foot. I want to like reach out with the tentacle that I can summon and just like tie us, freeze us essentially together.
Cool. You
not losing
reach
it
out with the
again.
tentacle, and rather than the tentacle reaching out, your arm becomes the tentacle. And you reach out and you grab his leg and racks around his thigh as you pull through it. And you just kind of get this whole camaraderie sense of
won't-
like, Oscar, I'm
I
here
won't
for
lose
you.
you
Let's do
again."
this together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this your patron? What's happening?
Not mine.
Okay. Then let's do this.
You say not mine, but you're not sure if that's true. What do you say? You got
Yeah.
3 things you want to say. You want to say out loud.
Let's do this together. Thank you all for what you've done for us. I hope our paths cross again.
Of course.
Find peace.
What is the last location in your mind that is? I want you to plug your ears real quick.
I can just like step upside.
No, you're good. You're good. We'll make it real quick. Just plug your ears real quick.
Me?
Real quick. What do you say?
No, that
Just what's your
Okay,
instinct?
sorry,
Where
I can
would you
totally
wanna
still
go?
hear what I do.
location. What's the last location I think of?
Like your safe space,
Seychelles.
like under the water in the shoals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Home.
Cool. All right, come back, Alex.
Literally, he shut the door.
All right, you do the same thing. What's your
Squeeze harder.
safe space?
My first room in the temple.
Okay. So we're gonna split the difference between the two.
Oh no.
Which,
Is that
lo and
above
behold, is the fucking capital. Yeah, it's like literally almost smack dab between the middle of the two. So you guys are sucked into space and log. You're like,
I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that.
And that's where we're going
Long.
to take our break, guys.
They
We'll be
owed us
back in a little bit.
500 gold worth of diamonds.
The good news is that you guys know these people now, so you can send them messages if you want.
Yeah.
Where's our
Or
fucking
dream 'em.
money?
Yeah.
Or you could
All right,
dream them.
we're going to take a break. We'll be back.
Where's the money?
Later.
Bobrovsky?
We're going to take a break, guys. We'll be back in a little bit. And thank you for watching. And as always, stay safe out there. Bye.
Bye.